Good evening, Draftaholics, and welcome to Draft Punks. I'm Sam.
And I'm Adrian.
And welcome to, finally at long last, the Magic Mates Cup final for 2024, which we've been promising for quite some time. This is the final of what I believe to be the highest stakes limited event that you can play in, short of the Pro Tour, certainly on our side of the world. And if you ask Damon, who is at this table and has played the Pro Tour multiple times, he actually thinks these events are far more competitive than even a Pro Tour day one. So this is going to be some really good high stakes draft. Now, Adrian, where are you in all of this?
If you could see, if the camera could see behind itself, you would see me because I am behind the camera. I took this photo and got a table full of great people.
And Adrian's going to be in the booth for this event today doing coverage. So what we're going to see is my draft and then my games. And all or most of my games are commentated by Adrian and a co-commentator as well. So you're going to hear the live commentary that was on the stream, and then you'll get the two of us live talking about behind the scenes and my thought processes and all of that. We had a really fun time last time we made one of these videos, so hopefully we can do that again.
Yeah. So who we got at the table?
So this is me right here. And then just to give you a quick glimpse as to who else is here, if you go two to my right, this fella here is Chris N. He tends to avoid control but likes his aggro strategies. Immediately to my right is Mark. Mark's a pretty open drafter. I've seen him draft basically anything, so I don't really know what to expect from that direction. And then continuing on to my other side is Damon. Damon, again, can draft anything. I think he tends to lean aggro at really competitive events, but he can do anything. And then on his other side is Yoan, who drafts very similarly to me. So when we sit near each other, we tend to mess each other up a whole lot. So that should be interesting for Pack 2. And then on the other end of the table, this is Alex. This is Chris L, who is my arch nemesis of the group. And this is Jim. So all extremely good players. This is going to be a really, really tricky draft. Much as you might see at much higher competitive events. So this is going to be fun. Let's dive into my draft.
Let's do it. All right. So, would you look at that? It's a big, hairy Sam hand.
That's all. That's what the people are here for. They just want the big, hairy hand. The BHH.
The BHH. Sam is pensively touching the booster pack as he begins opening. I love the opening tactics. Straight down the middle, peel off the cover. Delicious.
Oh, I should have mentioned at the top, this is Duskmourn draft. You've all been clamoring for hashtag bring back Duskmourn. This is just me counting the cards in the pack. I'm not. We are going to make it a little bit clearer than this. I don't normally get nervous at events, but this one I actually felt a little bit. This one's going to be really interesting. So the rare there is the furnace sauna room, which is almost certainly what I would take out of this sort of pack. But I do like the grand entryway as well. Centipede, I hadn't quite caught on to how good it was at this stage, but I'm pretty sure I would still be taking the furnace at this point anyway.
It's pretty good, but my eyes immediately go to Trapped in the Screen and the grand entryway.
Really? You'd like them over the room?
I think the room's good, but you're sort of like, yeah, it goes in a red deck or it goes in a blue deck, and you're kind of really putting yourself in blue-red, and that's fine, but I don't know, I like a monocolored pick.
Yeah, I think that is a monocolored pick. I think it's totally fine in any red deck, and it's amazing in blue-red, which could certainly be something that's open, because I don't think that's a commonly sort of drafted archetype. But we'll see how we go. I have
noticed this, actually.
Yeah.
I have noticed blue-red is the least often drafted.
Yeah, so I like a half on land. There's a good chance that I'll end up picking that up. Not a whole lot else we're interested in here. This is all kind of covered. Ooh, full art land. Basic. Love me a full art land.
Take that basic land. There's the good, the black kill and or reanimation spell in this one, I think.
Yeah, I think at this point, so we were about 2 weeks into the Duskmourn format at this point. So obviously I am interested in that here as well. I think I had picked up that I didn't like Reanimator at this point. I hadn't quite figured out the right way to do the reanimator deck, so I'm probably likely to try to steer clear of that. But I was very high on fixing. I really, really liked the dual lands, so high enough that I was willing to grab a half on one here, because this could mean I could be a black-red deck and then... Well, I could be like a black-blue deck and then splash the red off for the furnace, that sort of thing. But I'm not really having a particular plan with that at this point. I'm just, swords to toy shares. Love that.
Swords to toy shares. And you're already in blue, and that's nice.
And it's just like the number one card I want to see if I'm blue. Manifest Dread is good. Exercise is good. Ooh, another dual land.
Oh, yeah, very relevant duel.
Very relevant duel. So, yeah, do we want to take another very relevant duel or Unable to Scream? Just a heads up, everyone, the footage on some of the rounds will be a little bit better than this. I was not a featured drafter on this, so this is one of the backup cameras that they were kind enough to set up just for Punk's purposes.
Yeah, so you got the special glary camera.
Yeah.
It was pointed directly, like right now, so that the light could bounce directly off of the cards, and you show a card to not even the camera.
Yeah. So
completely obscured.
Hopefully, I don't change my position entirely and just start opening packs off camera here. We'll see how this goes.
That would be.
I'm liking the start. I've got a really good blue-red card. A 1 mana piece of removal that I like a lot. Ooh, the Argovots Lair is nice.
That's nice.
Okay, card advantage that is a room could go nicely in like a Grixis Rooms control deck. A shiny full art land. Ooh, Arseworks is great. Almost certainly we take... Well, that is a shiny full art land. I do like a shiny full art land.
Oh, was it an island?
It was an island.
Oh, wow. It's probably the best one to get.
It is, yeah. So this is a tough pick between a good playable for my deck and a really nice shiny basic land.
What do you think of the cancel that is a guy that also manifests them dread, Fear of Imposters?
I think it's fine, not a high pick. Like, it's playable, but nothing that, like, draws me in. I prefer Twist Reality. And they seem on the surface quite similar cards, but I've liked Twist Reality a lot more.
Yeah, okay.
So again, you can see I'm liking the black card advantage cards as well.
I'm noticed. Yeah, you haven't really gone in on red yet.
I'm thinking kind of...
Well, sorry, you did pick Glassworks, but...
Yeah. So I've got a really nice start to a blue-red rooms control sort of deck. And so the Researcher is fine just as a good defensive 2-drop. But I'm also looking at some potential black options here. And then I could be kind of any of the Grixis combinations.
Kind of a meh pack, though.
It is. There's nothing super exciting here. I think I like taking a 2-drop in a color that I'm likely in. It's not exciting, but those decks really just need to shore up the ground early. Otherwise, all the time that they spend casting card advantage rooms, you'll just get run over. So I think that works out okay.
Ooh,
okay,
nice.
Meat Locker is nice. Percussionist is nice. Final Vengeance is nice.
Oh,
Gremlin is nice.
Gremlin.
So I'm feeling pretty good about my colors now. This is this looks pretty nice. This is tough.
There's nothing worse than like picking a good, like, this multicolor rare is really, really good. Or this rare that kind of wants me to be this one multicolor archetype is really great, and I picked it, and then you just get completely cut on those colors instantly.
Yeah,
and you're
so
like, oh.
If I didn't have any color bias here, I think I would take the Final Vengeance. But given that I'm likely red, I think picking up the Gremlin there is a pretty good shout.
Pretty relevant.
Not an irrelevant Gremlin. Oh, another good land. Another good land.
Yeah, all the foil lands today. Oh, Underwater Tunnel, fantastic.
Tunnel. Yeah.
Oh, not Bottomless Pool, though. That's the one I was thinking of. Every time.
So, if you want to just pause it here really quickly, we had a big discussion at the start of this event. We had a big breakfast that was put on by the organizers, which was fantastic. And one of the things we were talking about was the Black-Red Sacrifice deck. We all had the feeling that it was very powerful, but difficult to get into. Like, what are the commons that you take that get you in there? And we found that a lot of the things that are good in that deck are not good in any other archetype. So, like, Disturbing Mirth is incredibly powerful, but at that point we were like, at some point you kind of just got to commit to it. You got to just slam it and say, I'm doing this. But then if someone just down from you has done the same thing, you are boned. So what you're going to see from me here, I think, is I'm going to think about this and be like, is it me? Am I the one at the table that gets to do this? And the funny thing was we had this discussion just before, so we're all thinking the same thing. Do I want to commit to it? Or do I want to just keep trying to stay open and maybe take something else that's in my colors already and is going to go nicely with what I've got so far? So that's the kind of backstory for this pick here.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's find out. Does he pick it? He's looking at it.
Yeah, you're probably going to see a bunch of hesitation from me here. It's an okay room. It's not amazing.
What do you think about Unwilling Vessel in the Rooms deck?
I've never been a massive fan of it. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna say no, it's not me just yet. I'm not willing to make the big commitment. I'm just gonna keep passing things along. And just to head off the comments, because I know I had one or two. Oh, nope, back into a pick. Okay, I really liked Don't Make a Sound at this point, and I did not like Ticket Booth.
Ticket Booth just Manifest Dread?
Yeah, first half is Manifest Dread for 3 mana, and then the other half is 6 mana to give an attacking creature double strike every turn.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
Doesn't seem right in my controlling sort of deck, whereas the counterspell does actually seem pretty good with what I'm doing here.
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. I think that's probably the pick I would have taken.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have gone for like, I just want to maximize rooms, and rooms that come with a body are pretty good, so would be good to have that. Otherwise, hey, look, Sam, you should be green-black.
Well, I mean, the green cards both kind of suck. I'm pretty happy to grab a Megalodon here, but worth noting there's a rat and a rat and a Fear of Missing Teeth, a Fompt. So if I had gone in...
Losing teeth. It's losing teeth.
Oh, fault.
It's fault.
I wouldn't fault anyone for taking it.
That's your fault for getting it wrong. More green and more green-black cards.
See, I told myself I wasn't going to take the nice basics on camera at a high-stakes event. Oh, and I stick to it.
Well, goes for the leech. I would have taken the basic there. Or the branch snapper. I really like a big, fat land cycler. So hard to say no to. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so part of the value of the blue-red rooms deck is you get these really late because they're useless to anyone except the blue-red rooms player. So if I can just pick those up with, 4 cards left in the pack, that's a pretty nice place to be. Or can I resist the shiny one?
I can. Let's go. Let's go. Such a nice foil.
Ooh.
And another one? Are you kidding me? Oh, it's not foil.
Yeah, but
you take the black room.
I'm still thinking I could be Grixis because I've got that black-red duel. I think I just took a quick look at whatever that last card was and just put it down. So I like this start.
True.
This looks like a pretty good blue-red control sort of start.
I mean control, but you've also got this. You've got Gremlin. You've got the Gremlin. The Soul Rager can be aggressive.
Yeah. Agreed. And that was kind of one thing that I was thinking, like, to what extent am I control versus aggro? Because you're right, that Gremlin is better when you're being more assertive, but it's fine in a control deck as well. But that is kind of
true, yeah.
One thing to keep an eye on as I'm weighing up packs in the next pack. But I don't mind this as a start. This seems pretty good. Now, I didn't have a huge amount of experience with this archetype going in. I'd played it a few times, but I wasn't mega confident in it. So I was kind of just going off what I know generally about drafting control decks.
I, to this day, have never played blue-red in Duskmourn draft.
Wow.
I think it's the only color pairing I haven't played.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. As we get the next pack open, I am just going to address the fact that I've got a really long thumbnail. It's just because I do massive amounts of cocaine.
I was so glad you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to have to tiptoe around the Sam's really problematic cocaine habit.
Yeah, I'm just a massive fan of drafting white,
Oh, the Shriek are so good.
Oh, man, this is like, I was really hoping for... Oh, yeah.
Shriek is so good. Keys keys is fine in the rooms deck though, and paper. Take a paper.
That's it. Yeah. So this is interesting. This is where I wish I had.
Vanish is not bad either.
Oh, okay.
Valuable Slayer.
So
good pack. Good pack.
Glimmerlight's good and goes nicely with the Gremlin. Keys is good fixing and goes nicely in the rooms deck, as you say. Vanish, I don't mind, but you can usually pick them up later. Same with the Peeper. Defiled Crypt, I hadn't quite worked out how to do that thing at this point in the format, and I don't think I'm the right deck for it here anyway. I don't think I'm supposed to abandon my colors and take the green rare.
Yeah, the double green rare. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If that was a single green symbol, the card would be worse busted than it is.
Yeah.
But correct pick. I don't know about the Glimmerlight in the rooms deck, but I think the card's fine.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. I could see people disagreeing with that. I'd love to hear from people.
I think if I were in the same situation, I probably would have taken the paper.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Pyroclasm's good for your deck.
Now, this is a really interesting...
Oh
boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Oh, well, you'll get that back.
I'll get that back, yeah. There's going to be another really interesting pick with a Pyroclasm a little bit later, which is going to be really interesting to talk about. But I'm just slamming Swords to Toy Shares here.
Card seeing play in a lot of formats, hilariously enough. I saw it get played in 7-Point Highlander the other day.
Yeah, the 1 mana blue thing that turns off a creature's abilities has been playable in lots of different blue tempo or combo decks for a while, just to shut off opposing hate pieces or problematic creatures. And I think that's the best one we've ever had. It's better than the Witness one from what is it? Witness Protection?
Oh, yeah. I think that's 2 mana as well.
Okay, Peeper. Ooh, Peer Past the Veil. I don't think this is the room we're doing. I don't think we're a specialist deck. This is not the fixing we're looking for. Tunnel Surveyor's fine.
Not bad. I'm not a big fan of the very, very bad control magic in this set.
No, me neither. Yeah, it's kind of the first control magic I haven't liked. So I do like Peer Past the Veil, but just if I can avoid needing to splash, that'll probably be good. And I'll probably be able to get a bunch of card advantage off my rooms anyway. The Peer Past is better when you're the red-green deck that empties his hands really quick and then regasses. So the Peeper's not exciting, but this is where it's at its best.
I would agree. Being able to ramp into your rooms, big fan of that.
Yeah, not something I really want to second or third pick, but we do what we got to do. Also, check out the awesome custom tokens that we got printed for this event. So,
oh yeah.
All right, what do we get?
I've been running around to get mine signed by everyone.
Yeah, me too.
The Glimmer token for this event was Mark Dickinson, and I have a signed Mark Dickinson Glimmer token. It's a prized possession of mine.
It is, yeah. I've got a signed Mark Dickinson. I've got a signed Yoan that is the Manifest token.
Oh, nice.
I've signed a few of those. Those are the Star spirits that are made by...
Oh, yeah, that's you.
Yeah, made by the other blue-red room. So yeah, that's me in Rockstar mode, for those that can't quite tell what's going on. So this kind of sucks. I think... Yeah, the land, picking up the land here is good. Apparition's fine, but I think, picking up a potential green splash is a good call, I think.
That's a good point. I probably would have picked the Apparition just because it's vaguely relevant. It can sort of just randomly win you the game. You just play it, play some rooms, control the game, chip in for 2.
Another potential green splash there, which I like. Their trap is removal. Pyroclasm. Now this is going to be the really interesting one. So I think this boils down to Pyroclasm versus the dual land, and this is where my preparation. Do you want to just pause it here for a sec? This is where my preparation, I think, let me down a bit, because I'm mostly prepared on just arena best of 1 drafts, and in arena best of 1, Pyroclasm is fine. You can main deck it, but it's okay. I would definitely take a dual land here. because I hadn't played that much best of 3. I played a bit, but not heaps. I didn't really have a good sense for how good Pyroclasm was as a sideboard card.
Yeah.
And so this pick here, I think, is actually one of my big mistakes. Because Pyroclasm is a really good sideboard card in these control decks, and sometimes even main deckable, depending on your own creature suite. So because I just didn't have that much experience with it, I think I end up taking the land here, and in hindsight, having a sideboard Pyroclasm would have been massively helpful in a lot of my games. So yeah, this was an interesting one, and I'm pretty sure I make a mistake here.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, yeah, it's between the Pyroclasm. I'm looking around and I'm saying, okay, well, the green seems to be flowing from the left. And green seemed open. But then again, like, I did just pass the big green mythic. What would I splash in green? None of the green rooms are particularly amazing.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to do, like, my general philosophy was take the dual lands over cards that don't really matter. So, you know, all of the commons bar like the top 5 don't really matter all that much. And so if you just take the dual lands over them, then you leave yourself in a much better position should you open or get past Valgavott's Onslaught or just whatever other mega bomb. And so I really like leaving myself in a position to take advantage of the really powerful cards that are in this set, rather than taking, you know, like a creeping peeper, or whatever else. Because you're going to get to the end of the draft and you're not going to miss them. Whereas if you open that Valgavott's Onslaught and you just haven't taken any fixing through the draft, you're going to be mega upset. So that was kind of my thinking, at least at this stage in the format. I still don't mind that approach. I backed off a little bit from it since where I was at this point. But that's kind of my thinking at that time. I like Vanish a lot more than most people.
I am often in positions where Vanish is in the pack, and I'm like, oh, removal, I'm light on removal. Oh, but 4 mana, but also, good, because it can really kind of upset their game by tucking something and they have to just draw it again. Basically flubs an entire draw step.
Yeah, so I think the thing that people, that's interesting. Analyst is very powerful, but I'm just not in that direction at all. So I think this is another counterspell or a peeper. And it's the second one of either of them, which is kind of interesting. And
I can totally see the counterspell here. Yeah.
I think I've remembered that there was another peeper in one of the other packs, and so I think I can get a peeper in one of these couple of picks. There we go.
Like there.
There we go. So
there's the tutor, foil tutor. That's nice.
Some of what I'm doing when you see me, like I've kind of selected my pick and now I'm going to look at the rest of the pack, is keeping an eye on the other cards that I want in there to try to just figure out what has a potential chance to wheel.
Okay.
It's something I still need to get better at, but I think I did it really well here. Because I'd much rather have 2 of each of them than like 3 of one and 1 of the other. Piranha Fly, I don't like very much. Let's read the big card draw rare. Yeah, it's still not playable. Nice.
Nice. The Soul Rager that we said would come around is back.
Yep. Okay, this is working out quite nicely. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only player doing what I'm doing here. Although I think I actually wasn't. So sitting directly across from me is Alex, and Alex ended up in blue-red as well. We're pretty far away from each other, but we were blue-red, but very different builds of it.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
So that was a Boiler Builder's Ripper, which I was still not quite sure how to evaluate. I think I liked it a little bit more than I should. So we'll see how that ends up fitting into my final build. But as we round out Pack 2, what are your thoughts on where we're at?
I'm surprised, having seen other drafts when I was commentating on the day, how much the flow of the colors is kind of trying to tell you to be green-black. You are seeing a lot of green and black cards, and a few good ones, actually.
What were the good ones that I saw?
There was what do you call it? The bone shards. You've been saying you opened the green. Not that matters, but you opened the green mythic. Just at the end, in the last, 6 or 5 cards of each pack, the majority of the cards are green and black.
There were, but none of them were particularly exciting. Like when you get the pack that's got 5 cards in it, and one of them is Final Vengeance, that's where you start to go, oh, am I supposed to be black? Get a little bit more view. Thanks for that, Val.
Get to see some more hands, some more arms.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, looking through. Okay, we're definitely a blue-red deck. I was vaguest feeling avenue to black.
Yeah. So what I like here is that I've got a good splash option into black and into green. Nothing in white, so hopefully I don't open some white bomb here.
In before white bomb.
Oh my god.
No way. You knew.
Oh my god, I cracked the doll house.
Sick.
Oh my god, what am I supposed to do?
There's an alternate history of this where you pick trapped in the screen, pick one.
Yeah, but I haven't really seen white this whole draft, have I?
That's true, but then you got to think, like, once you pick a different card in pack 1, does that mean everyone else picks the same card? Like, do you put someone else in different colors? It's so many questions.
I mean, you're right, and that affects how pack 2 might have gone. But if I didn't see any in pack 1, then I'm not likely to see much in pack 3, which is part of what I'm thinking here. The other thing I'm thinking is, like, there's kind of nothing else in this pack.
Yeah,
like, I like Get Out.
I mean,
I like Get Out. Like, Get Out is a real card. So I guess this is like, can I pick up a little bit of fixing to try to make this mega bomb work? Because the other thing, and Yoan and I were talking about this before the event, is you can use the keys to unlock.
Oh, he takes it.
Okay.
Wow.
It's so powerful. I couldn't let it go. This is a really interesting one. I'd love to hear from other people on that pick. And it's a room. It goes nicely.
I wouldn't have had the balls. I would have just gone, look, pass it, take the Get Out, whatever.
I don't know if it's balls or ooh,
baby. Holy crap.
So here I get rewarded for hard cutting. Ooh.
Holy hell, the Grim. What, this pack is insane. and the bottomless pool.
Holy moly.
Can we just take the whole pack?
Take the whole pack? Like, I think I'd just slam this whole thing and be happy with my draft.
Where's Agent of Acquisitions when you need him?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay, Boiler Biggles in.
Boiler Biggles, when like my control deck kind of needed a big win condition, that's just perfect. So
also just a mega bomb in its own right.
That's it, right? And then if I could wheel any of those cards I've pulled to the front, that'd be nice. Maybe the Twist Reality.
Yeah, true.
It's unlikely I'll wheel the Bottomless Pool.
Yeah, that's the sad part. So you're probably not going to get that one back.
Yeah.
Oops, checking that it's still there.
It's just, that's where the nerves kick in. I'm like, did I actually take the card I wanted?
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
Can I get more that's that good for the rest of this?
There's Altenac.
Okay, Withering Torment. Ooh, Glimmerburst.
Were you as on Glimmerburst as you were later on in the format? Or Okay.
Yeah, loved Glimmerburst very early on and never really got off it. I don't think this is particularly close.
Holding the cards at the perfect angle to shine all of the light directly at the camera. That's a skill, Sam.
Yeah, I did that quite deliberately.
Well, very happy for a Glimmerburst here.
And aside from my massive cocaine habit, the actual reason I've got the giant thumbnail is for guitar reasons. Use it mostly for classical guitar stuff, but it comes up in a few other points.
Undoing screws, portioning out salt and pepper when you're cooking. Very useful.
And cocaine.
Well,
right.
Okay, what are we getting now?
Well, my colors are not looking. That's fine. Oh,
Very
that's
meh.
not great. I was really hoping to have more open than that. So, I mean, we can definitely say that Mark to my right is not in red.
Yes, 100%.
We know this. I guess there's a chance. Like, blue-red felt pretty open in pack 1. Like, I ended up reasonably hooked up at the end of pack 1. So this pack is a little bit concerning, but I felt pretty good about where I ended up, color-wise.
I don't mind that pick, though. I think it's fine.
Yeah, the apparition's okay. We'll see how it turns out when we get to the games, but yeah, okay, red 2-drop.
And the feed's
And,
not bad.
another
Wow.
alternate.
Oh, let's go.
Baby.
Oh, and the key bearer. Okay. Yeah. Wow. You're stoked about this.
Yeah.
This is another. Can we have the whole pack?
I think just those front 2 cards are the only ones I really want.
I mean, fair.
The key bearer is fine. I was not particularly high on it just because it felt like a 4-mana thing that just dies. Whereas the blue-red room actually really does the thing I want. Like, that second half is a pretty good win condition in my deck. So, and
yeah, 100%.
I think I agree with that still. I like the key bearer, I've come up on it a bit, but it's nothing I'm super excited about.
I opened the 7-mana make all your stuff hexproof room with it. It was sick. Sorry, the double all your triggers room. That's the one.
This is not a room that I'm interested in. I've done that before as well. That's very cool. One thing I might have been thinking about there is that the key bearer can unlock the other half of the dollhouse.
So true. I had completely forgotten about the dollhouse. This pack sucks a bit.
It does suck, so I'm probably just going to grab...
Oh, takes that!
Whatever.
Is it just because it cycles?
Yeah, like if I end up short on playables, at least it just cycles. Highly unlikely it's going to make the cut. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, the white's not looking great. Like, if I get just a single white duel, I think I'll be happy. In which case, I'd be happy to run a Seize from Slumber as well. I should have been thinking about that Centipede. Centipede's really good, but I was not high on how good it was just yet.
Well, yeah, just greens and blacks. It'll be no surprise to anyone that 2 Sam's right, Mark is in green black, and he drafts quite a barn burner of a green black deck.
Oh wow, he was in green black, and he passed me the Centipede this late.
I think he was getting hooked up left, right, and center.
Right. Okay.
I think we watched his draft, and he was doing great. He had fantastic picks every pack almost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Chard Foy is a really interesting one. So the day before this actually was the Sydney City Qualifier, which is a big sealed tournament where the top 8 get RC invites. And the night before that, I was having a conversation with some friends, just running through some of the rares and mythics, just to talk about our evaluation of them at that early point in the format. And that was one that we got to that we talked about. And I argued pretty ferociously that it was completely unplayable. Because you're essentially paying 4 mana for like a Ren's Resolve after 2 turns, right? After 2 turns of it in play, you've paid 4 mana for a Ren's Resolve, which is just atrocious. But my friends were really trying to talk me up on it and said if you've got a deck that is looking to play
straight to the front.
Beautiful. Love a Twist Reality. If you're looking to play a long game, a control game, it is a long-term source of card advantage, which those decks are looking for. So that's all running through my head. Like, do I stick to my convictions that the Foyer is just not good, is not playable, or do I kind of listen to my friends and maybe it makes this deck because this is the deck for it if it's good anywhere? That is a criminally
turn
turn
inside out.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can see turn inside out making the cut here, but also yes, so late.
Yeah, I'm really not the deck for it, but the card's just good.
Oh, well, because little do you know that across and to the left of the table for you, Jim is having the worst draft of his goddamn life. Like, it's just turning to absolute shambles in real time at this point, in like the late stages of pack 3. So Well, that's the draft, and I really wish you would show us that last card that you got. I wanted to know what basic you got or terribly unplayable common you got.
Look, if I got a full art land there, I would have been celebrating.
Well, that's the draft, Sam.
Okay, so let's pop up a picture of my final deck here. Okay, so here's the final deck. I guess the two big decisions that I really agonized over are I did not play the Dollhouse. I didn't have the fixing to support it. And I'm really not that attacky either, so it's not even at its best in this deck. And I think my deck's quite good as it is and has pretty demanding color requirements anyway. So as much as it hurt me, I did have to leave the Mega Bomb out. I think this was just after we'd recorded our draft video where we just absolutely stomped on people with that card. So I was really, I was really feeling how powerful it was, but, that's it. And I left the Foyer out. I reckon it's a sideboard card that I might bring in against another control deck.
Yeah. I think the deck looks fine. I think it's like a constructed deck. You got lots of multiples of the same card. You got 2 don't make a sound. You got 2 unables to screamses,
which I'm very, very happy about.
2 of the Soul Rages, 2 of the Peepers. The deck looks fine. It doesn't look crazy, but it looks like it's got a lot of removal. It's got a lot of ways to control the game, and it's got a lot of ways to pull ahead in terms of card advantage. And I think that's it's a good recipe. That's it, yeah. And I thought my thinking at the time was this is a really good version of this deck. What I wasn't sure on was, is that good? Yeah, okay. So just because I didn't have that much experience with it just yet. So I think I liked where I was. I was happy. I think I found a pretty good lane to be in. Like you say, the black was flowing reasonably well, but it wasn't actually very good black. Whereas because I was getting the late Soul Rages and a few of the other pieces that are like only good in my deck, it worked out. I'm also not playing the keys because I'm not splashing anything, and I didn't really want to play it just to relock my rooms. So all that fixing that I took really highly didn't end up paying off for me, but I still don't mind taking that swing, right? Because if that Dollhouse was a Valgavott's Onslaught, I would have felt like a genius. That's just so true. As it turned out, I just didn't pick any white fixing and then opened a white bomb. But so it goes. So anyway, let's dive in and we'll take a look at how this plays out. Hell yeah.
Welcome back.
Oh, look at that. Look at that pretty face.
There he is. Volume's going to be weird on this one because I believe there was a lot of microphone trouble all afternoon. So.
No, don't say that. Perfect stream quality.
Perfect stream quality. And yeah, look, there's Sam on the left and there's Johan on the right. Bit of a rematch from last year / earlier this year.
So we're dropping us into round 2. Oh, look at that smiling face.
Oh, everyone's having such a good time.
So we're dropping us into round 2. Not sure if we're going to bring you round 1 just yet, but in round 1 I got paired into...
I'm currently excited. I think we should have a really good match.
We don't know what they're saying here. No audio was recorded in that room. We will never know what happened.
That is not a microphone either. It's a whiteboard marker.
I believe Sam's on blue, red, and
yeah, so I got paired into Chris L first round, which was the same person I got paired into last finals round 1. And I breezed through that pretty easily, thankfully. I do not get through Chris L that easily very often. He stumbled a bit. My deck did its thing just beautifully. And I got through. Now I'm paired into Johan, who I got paired into second round last time as well. And it was an insane match against Johan last time, and he beat me. He just went off with chalk outline back in Karlov Manor. And I'm so glad we've got I'm so glad we've got this match on camera, because this was one of the most intense matches of Magic I have ever played. So I cannot wait to talk through this. Yeah, please stick around. This is going to be fantastic.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I can't remember, even though I was watching the whole thing. I have a terrible memory. Magic games just go in one out the year and out the other for me.
Yeah, so I haven't. I've rewatched this once shortly after the actual event.
Here we go.
But not for a little while now. So let's see how well I remember my thought processes. I think I remember this sort of thing much better than you. So I think I should remember it fairly well. I have no idea what Johan's playing.
Second in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you meant that in like now you don't. You can't remember.
I know. I could probably tell you his deck list now.
Wow.
At that point, I didn't know what he was doing.
Way to separate year 7.
So yeah, as they start the game, you can see me and Cell in the bottom right hand corner doing our best stream paddle while they try and figure out the like integrated life counter.
So we got the life counter.
Fun fact: it will basically not work all day.
Getting ready.
It will. There were brief, beautiful moments where it did work, and we cherished those moments. For the most of the time, it didn't. So the life total you see on screen will probably be of questionable accuracy. So
look, that might just be because I kept forgetting to update it. I would update it on my life pad, but not anywhere else.
Yeah, okay.
So it looks like I got a bunch of lands and...
Oh, the world! Now I remember. Now I remember.
Yeah.
The Wicker Folk, I believe, the Wildfire Wicker Folk from Johan cracks into 3.
Can I spoil it? No. We'll wait. We'll wait.
So, not what I want to see with my control deck. I do not want to see a really aggressive start like that. But I got the Gremlin. Now, do I trade the Gremlin off?
Johan's deck was this fast.
Yeah. I think it's a little deceptive.
Look, depending on how much you know about Johan's deck, you could not. I think if I was in your position, I would just snap off the trade. I'd be like, whatever. I can't take 6 on turn 3. Like, you know, is there more coming? Is it going to be worse? Yeah, just take the trade.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep, I think that makes a good amount of sense. And then I've got the Bear Trap
for this thing to get trampled.
Oh, okay, Bear Trap's not going to take that out. But honestly, that's
very slow follow up.
No, this is the dog. This is the 04. Yeah.
So I'm really happy about
love
that.
You can see someone's mouse in the card overlay. That's always good.
Okay, there's my Soul Rager.
Soul Rage are good. So we've gone from a blisteringly fast turn 2 by Johan into the Swarm Weaver.
And I think I might have a counterspell in hand, so I'm just feeling like the biggest goober in the world right now.
Interesting.
Mind you, Johan's smart enough to not run Swarm Weaver into blue red mana, so probably wouldn't have made a difference.
True. Very true. But there is a Swarm Weaver now, and that sucks.
Yeah, not what I'm super happy to see.
Fun fact, me and Cell have barely any idea what these cards are, and we're frantically trying to get the card viewer working.
This could get out of control.
So if you're listening to me in the bottom right hand corner, I don't know what the Swarm Weaver does.
So you're like, oh, that's a card, and meanwhile I'm like panicking, like, how do I deal with this?
Yeah, we saw 2 tokens get made by it, and we were like, wow, this thing's serious.
Okay, so we pop the Swarm Weaver.
Just get in.
Because it's not blocking, so we'll get in for one.
Not blocking with all of
so true, except when they play their other Wicker Folk.
Right, there's a chance I'll need to block with it, but
red tricks in this format that blue-red would play.
Now it always feels a little sketchy to just destroy the Swarm Weaver because black's got so many ways to just pick it up again.
And green.
Green's got a few as well, yeah. So
black cards in
under the skin. There's a room that does it.
Yep. True.
And
so I'm. Oh no! This is the. Brings it back with a zombie. Nice looking Alex zombie.
Is tossed.
Oh.
This is bad. This is bad.
No, it's like so bad.
So what's how do we start to recover here? We're being attacked by the Flyers. I guess that the 2/2 is not a big deal. I just really need to be able to get that Swarm Weaver dead again, and then find a flying blocker to be able to deal with the flyers, I guess is the plan.
Tell you what, Pyroclasm would go great here.
Right? Right? Much rather have that Pyroclasm than a blue-green duel.
So Sam's
Yeah.
probably looking to catch
So true.
Don't know exactly what Sam's deck has got in store for Johan. If
So is that I think that's a meat locker, a real human meat locker that I've got in hand there.
For Johan, but I don't
Which is
know
not
what's
mega
going
helpful at the
out of
moment.
Sam's hand right now. He's having to think about it though.
Yeah, I don't think he
Is that a
has
glimmer?
Young's really good at showing his hand to the camera. Sam is not so good.
I don't know, like Titans.
It's very
that's what-
clear to the camera what's
There's a hand cam. That's what that's for. Blame the streamers on that one. Okay, Furnace to take out one of the flyers.
His best
That seems like overkill, or is that just one damage because it's the first room?
Picks up a
No, it's
flyer
damage
with
equal to the number of
the
cards in
Red
your hand.
Bull Room.
Okay,
I don't
so
remember if this is the rare or uncommon.
are you just?
room.
I guess you're just terrified of the army of like
Loki's Lounge, which is
2/2s that are inevitably going to be in the air.
Yeah, and even if they're just 1/1s, like they're just going to deal a lot of damage over the course of the game. So I think just picking off one of those, I think, is a good idea. That probably signals to Johan that I've got an answer to the Swarm Weaver as
Got a lot
well.
of options.
Now he's looking at that triple blue mana that's open. Is that a counter spell?
Do you have one?
Don't
A lot
know.
of directions there.
But
So-
you said you had one earlier, so I think you do.
I think I do. But now this is really interesting
Representing a bit of a counterspell here.
for
Oh, see,
Johan
I-
because
even I-
Johan's a smart player, and so he's not going to run his bomb into that open mana. So maybe I'm just playing into that factor and knowing that he won't jam it if I've got 3 mana
He
open.
can get another room down, then we've got a 4/4 and
But I think I do actually have it. Ugh.
Okay.
Johan continues to grind.
The devious,
Pretty good.
I think I've got to hold that counter spell for the Swarm Weaver though. I'll let him draw some cards.
Disturbing mirth.
Yeah.
So I guess if the plan is counter the Swarm Weaver, then picking off one of the flyers actually makes sense because it massively slows down his clock.
Sack it to draw cards, or
I think you
True, very true.
sack an enchantment.
Okay, so he sacks the room
that's right. You sack another enchantment when it enters to draw.
to draw some
You
cards.
sack it, you manifest dread.
Now the problem is, like, Johan will know full well that if I'm just going to sit there with 3 mana up, ugh, he can just play like a
Wow.
Wickerfolk Thresher.
So
And like,
this is,
I can't let him keep doing this, so I'm probably going to have to counter here. Oh!
No, you just let it go.
Just let it
Holy
through.
dooly.
Yeah, and Johan, he's only got 2 cards in his graveyard, but he is only 1 type away from Delirium.
So this might mean I've got something like a...
I've finally got the Swarm Weaver up on screen.
Has the artifact creature.
for the casters to know what the card is.
Oh, and there's Wickerfolk Thresher.
But
Yeah.
So this probably means that I've got a way to just lock down the Thresher for a little while, maybe with Unable to Scream, maybe with Meat Locker,
I'm curious to see.
Ah,
I can-
yeah, that's true.
and then I can continue to have the counterspell for the Swarm Weaver, because I really don't want the Swarm Weaver to resolve.
Whoa, just play Big Shark.
Big Shark. That stops the Thresher.
Don't stop it.
So maybe that means I don't actually have the counterspell, and I'm not going to sit there. Oh, God.
Uh-oh. He's got Delirium.
Oh, getting your 6-drop nugs for 1 mana is so bad.
And then also in one fell swoop, enabling Delirium for his Thresher. That's just gonna generate infinite value. And here's
Brutal.
the Swarm Weaver. Hot damn!
Oh my God. Okay. This is getting very difficult to.
Sam's in trouble.
A good assessment by Adrian.
I'm really good. I'm really good at commentating Magic games.
Okay, so these the 2 little bats or whatever they are on the left hand
Oh,
side
and
are
ramps
insects.
himself 1.
Do now is not get blown out
Yeah.
by say like the 5 mana Wrath in red.
So
So that
so this isn't great, Sam. Where's your Wrath?
Yeah. So I mean, if I can like, yeah, I need that right.
I don't know
If so, I need to like Unable to Scream both of those big threats, and then find a way to deal with the flyers in the air. This is starting to become a bit of a tall order.
Yeah.
No one's thinking.
Also, fun fact: Yoan had the best lighting and the best camera.
Shuffling the cards.
Like one of the guys, I think
I
Val
don't know
has
if
this
he
sort of
just
like
saw land or
cinematic
drew
grade,
cards
very
when
very
he was
good
watching,
black
but,
magic camera, and that was the one
pressure,
pointed at
you have
Yoan.
to
So
learn
every
this
time
thing,
Yoan's
not
on screen,
only
we're
is
like,
it
wow,
good,
he looks
it's
so good.
got 4-5-4. This thing's gonna draw you
So there's
cards.
really great lighting, and meanwhile, like Sam's on
Not
the
look
blurry flicker cam.
That's all right. That's to hide my face from people.
Ah,
So I'm not super liking
the
how this is
Swarm Weaver
looking.
adds power.
I wouldn't either.
So this is probably a real human meat locker. Yeah, to lock down.
Oh,
Nope,
no.
Takes his backsies.
That gets you a land. That's an insect, I think, or yeah, I think that's
Judge.
Actually,
Apparition can block the flyers.
green.
Unable to scream
Okay,
turns
turns,
off
the
the Swarm Weaver.
which crucially takes away the Swarm Weaver's abilities.
And then next
I
turn
believe
I
that is
could
also
meat locker
flying
the
below
Thresher.
Sam.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, okay, so yeah, at least it disincentivizes the flyers from attacking now, but
Yoan
Oh
could
boy,
also
stressed
still
face.
affect Sam's
Yoan
have
is
to
still
deal with
generating
Comfortable face.
and
more or less infinite value from the
at
Thresher.
least he's not just dead in the air this turn, but
Yeah, so
ooh-wee,
the fact that I
feel
didn't-
a little better for Sam if Yoan was out of cards, but Yoan
the fact that I didn't meat locker that
clowning down, we are coming
um,
right into the red zone. I wouldn't be surprised
that
if
Thresher
issues a concede from Sam. That's the
might mean that I've
the
got
Thresher trigger
the quench
there.
in hand.
Puts
I
him
have no
hand,
faith in you. I think you're going to
land,
concede to this attack.
I never concede.
and Sam's got 5.
So I can chump the Thresher, block a flyer, take 6, go to 1. That's fine.
Blockers. 4 of this damage is in the air. So 3 of this damage is in the air. And
Or off the Thresher, Yoan could just draw a removal spell and kill me on the spot.
Probably one.
Yeah.
Do I
Certainly possible.
card? I think when you're this far in front,
God, lighting's so good. Oh,
it may be.
Yeah.
Dead.
Balls out. Okay. Extremely dominant game one for Yoan.
and then we get some Yoan music. Everyone had music.
Everyone had their own music, yeah.
And whenever they won, Alex was hot on making sure that they got their music played. So
My favorite part about that is whenever someone wins on one of the backup tables, they press the music. So we just randomly get like Damon's music playing throughout game. Okay, do we want to just quick cut back to where we pick up again?
let's cut right back to Sam and Yoan second game.
Oh, and we're back to
So
Sam
what was
and
interesting
Yoan.
about that game was he had the
Sure,
Wicker
we'll
Folk to
cut back in
start,
with,
which made me think, okay, red-green aggressive, but it turned out he was actually like quite a card advantagey Jun sacrifice deck.
Sam's going to be on the play.
Yes, yeah. The having the Wicker Folk on turn 2 seems like an anomaly, right?
Sam's got to hope to
Well,
rip hot, play well.
regardless of whether it's anomalous, it was not his main plan.
Yeah, but you're probably thinking, oh, okay, I've seen the rest of his deck, very value oriented. Like, maybe you got thrown off by that really aggressive start.
What I see
That
from
what's
Sam
the likelihood of that happening again? I'm
Yeah.
feeling probably pretty
and
good
I
post
think
board
If
now.
I know Sam,
Yeah, I think I'm
that
pretty good in a long game. So I think I feel alright in a long game. I mean, his deck looks good in a long game as well, and Yoan knows how to play a long value game better than anyone. So this is certainly a scary point for me, and I'm down a game.
True, very true.
So that's probably me chewing off the cocaine nail in anxiety right now.
Showing off your playmat there. You get Star City Games Invitational qualifiers.
That is not my playmat.
Oh, okay. I was very excited there.
Very cinematic.
I think I was on a.
This is where
Oh,
this is where we start to talk about Yoan's lighting.
Looks like another good start for Yoan if what I'm seeing in his hand is correct. I think he's got the 2-drop once again.
Okay, got our colours. Yoan took a mulligan, which is nice. I'll come. Oh my god.
Once again.
Could we not? Could we
It is a
not?
Repeat. of the previous.
Just doesn't feel
Sam's
necessary.
drawing, seems to draw another land. I think that's probably one of the last things he wanted to see. Does he have a turn 3?
Was I right? Did you not want to draw land there?
Taps a blue.
Okay, so let's make that a little bit less threatening.
Okay.
So I feel like I probably don't have the quench here.
Okay, the hand that feeds.
You don't? Yep,
Okay.
passes it back.
So this is a bit more of an aggressive start from Yoan. But that's where 1 mana removal is so good.
Less.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Well,
Just
four,
a parts.
4 in this format. There's a lot of things that cost 4 into speed.
Especially
I think
Glimmerburst.
we might have the.
Happy to take 2. Sam
Or
ever
2.
so happy to take the damage.
Glimmerburst. We
Well,
might
we're
have some
curving
Glimmerburst.
out.
There's no way that's
Might be
resolving.
the Tuck. And here comes the Thresher once again, putting a lot of pressure from the Thresher on this might.
Mr. Jokes over here.
So I think I let that go because I've got ways to deal with it once it's on board. So I'd rather just get my card draw in, make a Mark Dickinson Glimmer token. Oh, look at that confidence.
He knows what he's doing. A nice confident sniff, inhale of air through the nostrils.
Oh, this is why Adrian's such a good commentator.
It's all about the little things.
It's now a card that in most of my blue decks.
So did you comment on Yoan's and my matching watches?
Yeah, 100%. Like
I didn't. I'd never noticed until right now. Pop it. It's
There
done.
we go. Get out of here.
Does get Yoan closer to.
And then I can
Yoan,
pass
but
with
big
what
throw
looks
up
like my counterspell again.
Keeping Sam feeling.
Does.
And now I'm feeling good. If he's only got...
This is going better. Very
Get
good.
it,
Another
Sam. Get it out of
enormous
here.
Get out of here. Don't want
A
it.
lot of pressure. Counterspell.
Get
from
off
Sam.
my board. I don't want that.
Crucial
We have
counterspell
that.
from Sam. Sam is feeling amazing about that, I can only assume. Takes
Yep.
the 2 from the hand that feeds. But 2 enormous threats dealt with.
Oh, so a lot of cards, and I can definitely see at least some action for some
Yeah,
cards. We have a match. We have a match.
I remember here in the commentary box, after that counterspell,
Yep.
So
what
Sam
we
plays
knew about
draw
Yoan's
card
hand, we were like,
and
okay, well,
summons
Sam's in control now.
Yep. And that was the point
Like,
where I felt things turn around. I'm like, okay, I'm in control of this now. I've got like 5 cards in hand, lots of mana. He's only got a 2/2 doing anything. I'm feeling okay now.
Yeah, no, I think you're doing good. Oh, go for the extra cards.
So now let's get an extra card per turn. Yoan looking a bit more worried now. He's not looking so smug anymore.
Me to have.
Yeah, Yoan's only got, I think, the Ripper and a monkey in hand.
So in comes the hand that feeds.
Oh no, the pig, the
Piggy.
pig, the pig.
Piggy.
I believe this is
Doesn't seem too
Toy
problematic.
Dog?
Not a follow up on the caliber of the hasty 4/4 that makes 1/1s.
Dives into a treasure.
No, and yeah, if he had the and if he had the Swarm Weaver, he surely would have jammed it there when I was tapped out.
This is what I
Yeah.
loves to see.
So
Importantly, though, with
doesn't
Yoan's,
have
like, slowing down.
Swarm Weaver, doesn't have the enchantment that sacks to draw cards.
Adding to the board.
So is the rest of his hand fairly reactive? Is it removal that he doesn't want to spend on what I've got? That's
Oh, is
kind of
that
what I'm thinking.
Glassworks I see you draw?
Sam's really hoping for a couple of slower,
So
sluggish turns from Yoan.
I think I like the patience there of not running out the removal if I don't have to. Let's just run out some creatures to deal with his paltry board. Or I suppose it's not paltry, it's porcine board.
Can't quite see what's in his hand.
Yeah.
He has 2 lands in his spell. So he's now got
Fun fact,
spell land. hand.
I do
Passes
not
turn
know
back to
why
Sam.
I'm holding my head at this angle.
This might be it for Sam to turn. The
I don't
corner.
need to be doing this.
I do
But I
that
am.
I do that as well. I often have, like in photos, I've often got my head at just like a 45-degree angle, and I don't know why. I'm just not good at being a person.
The room in hand for Sam. I think if Sam can just keep drawing all those extra cards.
So once again, like, I don't think I want to run out a deal 4
here
here, because I don't care about these threats. My creatures are holding them at bay.
Full of, good draws.
And so at this point I'm thinking, if I want to spend my mana, do I just run out
Discard your hand.
the arse end of Arseworks, just to spend my mana and get it onto the board? It feels a
yeah.
bit of a weird thing if I'm the control player, just to run out a 1 damage per turn effect. Yeah.
Draw, at least
I kind of love it though, like because it gives you
it's actually
at least gets you on the board, right? It gets,
Yep, let's do it.
Plays the
It's
other
a clock.
side.
Johan's not happy about it. It's basically just saying, hey, I've got another removal spell if you ever happen to do anything relevant.
Is that the other side of Glassworks, or is it?
Is that the other side of Glassworks, he asks.
I can't quite tell. It looks like the other side of Glassworks. So he goes.
Yeah, so that's the one that deals the damage on the end, and I'm drawing an extra card per turn. Like, I just don't need to do much here. I've got things under control. I've potentially got counterspell mana up. I've remembered my triggers. It was totally not Johan reminding me of my own trigger.
It shows that he's feeling comfortable.
He's feeling comfortable.
I was so bad with these triggers all day. Round 1 against Chris, I kept forgetting both of them all the time.
Sam has become a man of the ends.
Nice.
Whether it's drawing cards or dealing 1 damage.
Ooh, big
Ooh,
beastie.
big boy.
Fat threat
Big boy.
That's a
But you
large-
cannot glass work.
No.
So,
Johan feels pretty good about that one.
Johan's in here saying,
Oh,
I got
I
bigger
can see
stuff
a
still.
I can see a quench in
I
hand.
can see a
Sam's
quench.
holding on to priority a little bit, or are we going to combat?
Looks like this might be.
So I think we're just fixing up a bit of a life total discrepancy here, which is totally fine for me, but Johan is just sitting in anxiety right now, not knowing whether this big beast is resolving.
It's going away.
And no, it is
That's
not.
the quench of the format. And
Flashes in there.
And an end step bear trap. So now I've got 2 removal spells sitting on
Sam is
board.
off to the races. Those extra cards are... Oh, draws the other blue-red room.
So we're pretty happy to see that.
I think it is.
Yeah. So, that's,
So I think getting down the red half that makes mana feels pretty nice at this point.
Depending on how quickly Sam wants to
And there's a chance I could even start getting aggressive here.
close out the game pretty quickly.
That it will.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, yeah, you've
lot
got-
of value being generated by Sam.
you've got a
Johan's
3/3
unfortunately
that could
in the top
attack.
deck land.
and do you
But
care if they
Johan gets
trade?
strong
Probably
cards in
not.
deck.
Or I could pick off the piggy
Yeah.
and get in. You know, I've got so many answers at my disposal right now.
Sam is
So, true, very true.
You know, no need to let him draw into the Swarm Weaver and potentially be able to come back into this.
5 mana.
5 mana.
I think we're going to be seeing...
Oh, is this Drowned Diner? Let's go. I want more cards. Give me more cards.
More cards.
the draw 3. Discard 1.
Oh,
The
quick.
wonderful 3D printed rooms.
One of our friends that's
It is
part of
too,
the
yeah.
Magic Mates League
Yeah, it's the
3D printed everyone at draft. Some of these 3D room tokens, which were just fantastic.
Yeah, they're great. They're amazing.
For me, I would now
So keep in mind that the blue half of that other room that I just drew makes an XX, where X is the number of untapped, unlocked rooms you've got. So now I'm incentivized to get all my rooms unlocked, make an 8/8 flyer or whatever, and then start to close this out. Ping you on end step, draw a card on end step.
Card for the trouble. Pings Johan. All right.
Feeling good?
Yep. I think that might have been the
Feeling good.
Overlord I just drew.
Johan's still playing off the
Oh, really?
I believe he drew another.
And I mean, this is the game I want to play, right? We just make things go long. He can't do anything about it, and then I'll find a finisher at some point, whether it's Overlord or a big flyer, or if need be, that stalked researcher will will start turning sideways.
Yeah, we'll just get in there. Little do you know that Johan has drawn Peer Past the Veil.
card is that? Not this last book's right.
Which is, oh boy,
And he's
oh boy.
playing it.
Oh no, this is the X spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's not the
discard
X-Spell, Adrian.
discard a land and something else. Is that the threaten?
3.
It's not the Roller Crusher, right?
Back up.
He wouldn't discard
And
that.
into.
Someone had it. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, okay. So draw 4 in this situation is huge for Johan.
Something the.
Just
Yeah, that's it.
huge.
Deer Pass.
Oh, he's okay. He's got a removal
his
spell.
hand
Yeah, so I got nowhere to
forward.
run in hand. But again, like if he wants to burn removal spells on my random 3/3 or my erratic apparition, like I don't care.
So what I can see.
But he does have a
is
Final Vengeance there as well.
The bone
Yes.
shard type spell. I think he's got the black room that gets something back out of the bin. So Johan's
I mean-
got game yet, but I think only one swamp in play. So heavy on the black spells.
I like on the right hand side we can see
Back them up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Richard just struggling to remember what cards are called. There we go.
3.
It was a bit of a ghetto setup. The card viewer was a streamed section
Smug.
of a
He's looking
screen
smug. He
on a
knows.
computer
Oh, you're
that was where
distraught.
cards would show up when you
Distraught. There are
search
two
for them
emotions,
with the
you know what I'm
card
saying?
add-on
Counts the
in
deck.
Discord.
Wants
Yeah.
to know how long this
So
can go.
you will just see chunks of Discord every so often.
But I do think this is the best one that Alex and Val and the crew have put together.
So,
The complexity of the
Yoan's
setup that
wondering
they
how much
had
time
just
he's got
blew me
left.
away when I saw it.
Sam's sitting
It's
there going,
actually, there was a lot of
"Cards are
stuff
new,
going
more
on.
creatures than
And I don't know, what do we
Um,
have? 8 cameras
what's the-
in different
Oh
places?
god, maybe even 10.
Yeah.
Clearly taunting him.
Because I mean, we've got 3 on this
16
main,
in library. from
3, maybe
the
5
tail
on
that
the
came
on the
through.
main feature,
So,
and then we had a
that's
backup feature,
two
and then we had some others in other places
I
as well,
don't
plus
know
those
if
on the
that,
coverage
trigger is a
crew.
May on the back of the room.
Oh, I don't like seeing Yoan
Yeah.
doing counting. You never like seeing the finger pianos.
No, you never do.
It's like when they ask, and you're tapped out? You go, oh no, I'm dead.
It's gonna ask that more often, even though if they're not dead.
Or when they say, how many cards you got in hand?
Yeah, that's another one.
My favorite response is 2, but please don't ask it like
A lot of
that.
thinking for Yoan to do here. Interesting to see where he
Okay,
takes
so
it.
my
Does he
grin's
just get
gone
rid
down a
of
bit after he
one
just
of the
drew 4
threats?
cards.
Sam doesn't have any high profile threats. Got a 1-3, got a 3-3, got a 2-1.
So I think Yoan's probably thinking,
nothing.
can
obviously,
I
needing to be.
can I know where to run the 3/3?
Right now.
If he has delirium, he can attack and potentially start getting some damage in. I remember this was the tough moment for Yoan. He's asked me about this spot later. Okay, the ticket booth? No, this is the good one. This is the one that draws cards.
Oh, the one where you exile the top 2. But he's
Yeah.
played
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
the other side.
Yeah, which
One of
gives
the
your
red
attacking
rooms.
creatures... No, it's not
Is it
Glassworks.
Not that. Not
It's
that
the one that gives attacking creatures +1/+0.
I think
Ah, that's right.
So this is now a 4/2 piggy, and I'm not quite sure if he's got delirium. I assume he does, given that I've double blocked here. So that's a 4/2 piggy, and...
Oh no! Yes. So the tunnel of
There.
5-2?
No, we still got it wrong.
No, that's still not it.
Slightly different.
All right, and then the board
He definitely
trades
didn't pay
off.
6 mana for
Gets a
it.
treasure token from the pig,
Sam trades it all off basically though.
and I'm feeling totally fine. I've got all the card advantage engines
One of the
going.
red rooms that gives +1/+0. Yeah, that I reckon is what it is.
Okay, and then uses the
Basically,
treasure
that one
token to
came
pick
through
off my
with
last
all the
creature.
features. Sam traded it all off. Sam thinks he's got the long game, but
Sam does think he's got the long game.
Yoan's
And
reckoning.
to be honest, Sam does got the long game.
Yeah, it's probably a good assessment.
So who knows if Sam has his own
Interesting.
chandelier to help with
Interesting
the
possible misstep there is the Wickerfolk could have attacked.
Excited to see
Would have had 1
Oh,
power.
because it's got delirium. No,
No,
it loses all of its.
No,
abilities.
because of the
Figured,
room.
cleaned
The
up
room would have
his
given it 1
things
power.
on the ground.
Ah, so
Or
true.
his flyer.
So if I've got the Overlord in hand,
So,
do I run it
Mega
out
Sand
here?
I think he just extends back out onto the board. I don't think
Okay,
there's
so
a
the
reason.
Soul Ranger
So
seems
he's got
very
his 3
good
mana
here.
4/4 now, which is quite a threat.
And then 4 mana.
And pops down another.
Ooh,
Whoop, little bit,
I think that was Damon's music.
a little bit of an audio mishap.
Okay, so I'm making my flyer now. And this is probably to try to bait out removal so that I can get the Overlord down safely.
It's a 6/6.
1,
Yeah, so
2,
he's
3,
got
4,
a
5.
5/5.
Okay.
So I've got a 4/4 and a 5/5 after the board just traded off. I'm feeling very
Pretty
good about this. Yeah.
Pretty strong. And yeah, I mean, very smart. Like, you don't know that his hand has got removal in it, but it totally does. And,
Little O2 to sack to it.
um,
And I think
then
like,
we're gonna-
yeah, little do you know, you are opening the gates for the Boiler Biggles to do a lot of work.
straight to
Hey,
the
Yoan
exile.
keeps drawing cards as well. He's doing pretty well at keeping up over these last couple of turns.
Fear of
Oh, burning alive. Good old Phoba,
As it is popularly known.
as it is popularly known.
I believe
Pretty
he has until
rational
next
fear.
turn to play them. He can't play the fear this turn.
You know, fear of losing teeth, a little
Fear will
irrational. How often does that
cleanly
happen?
mop up
fear of missing out. Come on, you can just watch it on YouTube later.
This is just me asking our local judge.
A little bit of a question here.
Just confirming that the power and toughness of that spirit token are indeed static. It doesn't go up as I unlock more rooms.
The answer is...
It is static. It is static.
Yeah, okay.
No idea what's going on presently. Looks a little,
One of my favorite bits of advice, I think, came from Ben Stark, which was, if you are not sure how something works, ask a judge. If you are 99% sure how something works,
100%.
ask a judge.
So, Sax is nowhere to run, gets rid of the 5/5.
Or read the card. Like, everyone seems to be always afraid to pick up their opponent's card and actually read it. If you are not completely sure you know how something works, particularly at a high-stakes event, just check. Just ask. It's free.
Is that so true?
Okay, so my big flyer got taken out, which I think I'm happy with.
Indicate that it is still, until the end of your next turn. So
Yo's done a pretty good job of
Okay, and we've still got the Fear of Burning Alive.
Foba. Still got Foba.
So I think the Overlord is a 5/5, so I'm not too afraid of the 4 damage, but it could get combined with a smaller burn spell to kill my Overlord. So I probably don't play Overlord here.
a lot of cards for Sam.
I can see not playing Overlord here because you're probably counting on him playing Foba, and you can eat Foba with the Overlord.
And
Yes.
Sam doing a lot of contemplation.
Or if I've got a counter spell, this is a perfect time to have it.
couldn't hear me for a little while.
Gets him for 4.
So true.
Because he has to play.
If you play Overlord and then have a counter backup, yeah, that's disgusting. Oh,
Taps for 5.
hand over the 6 mana. Oh,
Let's just get some more mana going. Why not? Oh,
Taps
nah.
for 8.
Boiler
For
Biggles,
9?
he's touching it. No.
the big jaws. Ping you, draw a
Opens
card.
room in land cycle.
Ping, you draw a
I don't know
card.
what room he opened. I think he opened the other side.
Um,
The smoky land.
wow, you are just dropping heaters on him, Sam.
This is what happens when you draw an extra card each turn. Like, you just don't run out.
Here
Okay.
comes Foba.
Foba, shoot me down to 7.
Kill the thing.
Kill my 4/4.
But Sam's got the bigger creature still.
I don't know if you have Overlord of the Boiler Biggles in
Yon
hand.
did spend his whole turn doing
I'm not sure if I know either. I think I saw it.
Follow up, or is he still thinking?
I think crucially,
I've also got just
Sam's
Glasswork
got
sitting there that can pick off Foba.
a little bit of a clock on him. He's drawing 2 cards a turn. And
Don't care about that.
he needs to
You can see the stress starting to kick in.
crack in. He needs to get some damage. He needs
Despite
to
all the
get some
advantage I've got, Yoan is still
Um,
fighting.
He's been doing a
There's my
pretty
2 red
job
mana
of
from the room.
dirtling around and
So just as a recap, my rooms that actually do something. The top one is going to draw an extra card on end step. Bottom one pings, and I can unlock it to deal 4. Next one down, if I unlock it, I can stun something and put 2 stun counters on it. And the one below that is going to add 2 red mana every turn. And Yoan's room gives his stuff +1/+0 when he attacks.
A lot of his black removal.
Yeah.
So it is a little hard to see how he deals with the 5/7.
So one of the things that I started to find quite difficult
From our other table.
as this event went on was figuring out how to use my mana. Because like I've tapped out basically every turn of this game, and I've still got 2 unlocked rooms and 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, and
having a big thing.
and a
bear trap.
Yeah.
Don't
So
exactly know what is in Sam's
this was a
hand.
really tough exercise in
He's got removal.
using your mana well.
He's probably got it in a bounce capacity against.
So one thing I'm possibly thinking about here
That's not really
is
what he wants.
if
It's more damage,
if the
it's
Foba
another
dies,
removal, and he did draw.
can he
another
bring
one of
it
the
back,
room trap
nug me for 4
so
again, and then I
he
start
would
to
like
get at
play
risk
that
of
and
dying.
Survive. So
Oh,
he's
wow, okay.
bounced
Yeah,
with-
fair.
He's taking his chances.
Oh, wrong one.
Ooh, the moment.
So maybe the thinking
Just
is
reads it. Puts the door back. Closes the door for a little bit. Has a look. Oh,
we're going to tap down the mana dork.
Taps the dog.
Okay, so presumably I'm planning on killing the Foba. That only cost me 1 mana because I had the 2 floating from the room. Ooh, kill that thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember understanding this.
Overlord, kill that thing.
Big turn.
Okay, Overlord of the Boiler Bilges has come down. If you thought Fear of Burning Alive was good, this one's better.
It's true.
Kills the Burning Alive,
And I attack
cracks
you.
in, and now Yoan's up against it.
So looks like after I planned all that out, it was, okay, time to turn the corner. I think I can end this between this turn and next turn. So even if he rebuys Foba,
I think I see a removal spell that will actually handle the Overlord here.
That's a start.
there's not much Yoan can do.
Probably dead next turn, though.
I think it was really smart. You were like, I'm just going to show him I'm going to win next turn and make him deal with that.
Killing him, so
Because I've got the
I believe
room.
that's 5 damage. Does kill the Overlord. Overlord in the bin.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So because I had the room dealing 1 damage on end step, both of my creatures were lethal, and he couldn't deal with both of them.
Fire, that
Oh.
And that is my band.
Oh, that's actually some of your music.
That's mine. Yeah,
kind of had it.
Oh, very, very good.
from many a year ago now. But yeah,
It was back and forth. Sam
And
had
back
already
to the...
got
Oh, no.
position.
Okay, no.
Yoan drew 4, which was huge for him. Really allowed him to swing the balance back into his direction for a little bit.
Expert commentary
But
from
Sam's
me.
value engine was too much. He had the removal, he had the creatures, he drops the Overlord, he has a mythic rare Overlord that's going to be hard to beat.
Who do you fancy?
Many such cases.
I mean, like, I gotta go for my man Sam, but Yoan's lighting is so much better. Like,
He
Sam's
couldn't get
got
over it.
really sort of like clammy.
It's so good.
You know,
Look at it!
glistening. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful shot. I can't get over it. It looks like he's in a movie.
so
It's even
you can tell
framed
just from my
within
face that I'm
the
feeling
space and to his left. It's
pretty
beautiful.
worried about this one because
So,
that was
Yoan
about as good as
for
it gets for
the
me.
Visual aspect, but
And
Sam-
Yoan
Yeah, you were
still-
just
Yoan still
roaring.
fought hard.
here.
Like he was
and
nearly keeping up with me on the card advantage front. He's got much cheaper threats than me. My ability to close the game is pretty slow. So this is gonna be tough.
Without knowing what Yoan has in hand has.
Yeah. I mean, and this is what I sort of like thought at the time. But then I just sort of saw how your deck hummed, and I think at the time I was like, well, I think
just needs to.
Yoan got pretty lucky on the curve outs in games 1 and 2. If he has anything of a substandard draw, I think you eat him for breakfast.
Is really hoping
I
now
agree. I think the same is going to be true the other way around, though.
Goes for the mulligan.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Has a.
I mean, I suppose I've got with the
relaxed
unable to screams, I can
style,
probably
not
play a
just
little bit of
coming
catch
out
up if I do
with
stumble,
the
but
Wicker Folk one.
God, what a shot.
So
He's so well lit. I can't believe it.
I'm
this could be
shinier.
anyone's game. I don't think it's that at all.
You're shinier, more blurred out, and with more like 50 hertz flicker.
We can't comment too much on Damon.
that's what people come here for.
Better say it was Mark who we
It's so
Like,
true.
This is
Okay, so
like
against
the peak
Mark's
male
deck, I feel
form,
like
whether you
Yoan
like it or
and Mark's
not.
deck are kind of similar,
Oh, back to Mark and Damon.
but Mark's deck's
All right,
Well, shall we
jump ahead a bit?
fast forward to yours?
Yeah.
Board.
You know how that goes, but
All right, we're back with drawn cards. I see no lands in your hand, Sam. Oh no, sorry, I see one.
Okay, so
I wouldn't be keen on it. Single island.
if I recall correctly, I have the single blue
That
Surveil
being
2
said,
room
I
in
think
hand, or
once
Scry 2, whatever it
again,
is, in hand.
Yoan has been treated
And
as
I've got the
an
shark.
banger.
So I could Island, Surveil 2, find a second
King
land,
Sam,
play the
to
second
his name,
land,
may be
Island
facing
cycle,
Wicker Folk 2 drop
and
once
we're off to
again.
the races.
yeah, that is one of the.
True. Meanwhile, we're looking at Yoan's hand, and he is drawn almost the nut. Like, it's like the best hand he could want.
Great, but
I'm not going to spoil it unless you've already seen it on screen. But
Oh,
we're
look
just
at
sitting
the
here watching.
stress.
He's
Sam's
stressing. I
like
know
just
exactly what's going
terrible
through his head.
one-lander,
He's got some early action,
or at least
and
one
he
lander
rips
with
hot
some game
win.
to it,
It's
and then
gold,
Johan's just got like a very
but
nice like, oh yep,
if he doesn't,
got
the game
all I
basically
want
ends. So
right in
he's
his hand,
gambling
perfect.
on the top few cards in
Keep
his deck. He's
the
thinking
problem,
about it.
and
What
he's on the
happens if I
play.
do? What happens if I don't draw it?
There's confident Johan, and
Yeah.
just mega stressed me.
Chicken head action from Johan.
So we decided to
Sam
He's
shows him.
mulliganing, but he's showing the rationale.
Yeah.
He's mulliganing, but he wants to
So-
explain his reasoning to Johan.
In the end,
Very interesting.
I reasoned that I could have,
tempting to hope you run hot.
I could have hit my land drops with that hand. It would have been okay, but the rest of the hand wasn't even that good.
You are gonna have
Yeah, I agree.
So it was just like not worth taking the gamble on such a sketchy start when the payoff for getting there isn't even that good. So I think I'm better off going a 6. I think you know from working with me for so long that I loathe a mulligan. I do not like mulling.
That's so true, Sam. Sketchy keeper of all sketchy keepers. In true Sam fashion, last Magic Mates Cup, there was the rip of the forest off the top that was life changing.
The draw of the forest that was heard around the world.
Yeah, that's the one.
Zamone and cares about numbers.
Meanwhile, Mark and Damon, while Sam mulligans, I'm sure we'll return to Sam and Johan in short order.
Not a card that Damon was starting with.
The interesting thing about this one is, from what you said, Mark's deck was an absolute heater. It was really, really good. And Damon spent
Mark
this
once again
entire
boxing
night
his phone code for the rest of the
complaining about how bad his deck was.
7. In the early terms of the game,
But-
super
And I
aggressive
almost
phone
don't
game.
begrudge him it. Like, if you look at his deck list, it's just kind of little herpy derpy, like green white, maybe
Yeah.
splashing blue a little bit. Like, it's just a bit sort of like, oh yeah, okay.
Several premium
Yep.
threats.
But he
You could argue four threats.
he blitzed his way through Alex in round 1, although apparently it was pretty close.
Another mulligan decision.
And he will end up winning that one against Mark as well.
I see boiler biggles.
We do like the boiler biggles, although I'd rather draw it later.
Yeah, as mulligans go.
So true. But you know what they say, a biggle in hand is worth two in the bush.
Okay, so we deal with our mulligan.
And look who it is.
Oh my
Every
God.
game.
Turn 2.
Get out of my life.
Gets him for 3. To be dealt
So
three
good.
turn
And there's
2
the
of game.
Swarmweaver in hand. He had Wildfire Wickerfolk and Swarmweaver in the hand.
Trades, but if
um,
Johan picks
in
up
his
a
7,
little
and
and keeps the
That doesn't
That's,
bode well for me.
it's very strong.
catch up. But all Sam has to do is get a bit of removal himself, and the beatdown is over. So
So
knows? I can see
if I
the- I can
don't
see the
block here,
fire
that's going to be
drop
really
removal
interesting,
in-
because that probably means I really need that paper for mana.
Like I was saying earlier, I think
Poor. See, I can't remember a thing. So this is like me watching it anew. This is great.
just be that aggressive.
45-degree head once again from Adrian. Love to see it.
Doesn't have to be. He's generally
Just to take, you gotta get an angle on the cards. You can't.
Well,
look
I
at
suppose
them
we're not
straight on.
used to looking at a exiles, a 5 mana spell, and a black spell. Ooh.
So, interesting. black
That's
spell,
not good for
that
Yoan.
would Run off of the exile. I think that's a swamp in hand for Yoan.
And I just pass
He
with
does have
what
it.
looks like a
Sam
counterspell up.
passes the turn.
Yoan didn't attack.
Right
He
back
didn't
to
want
it.
the trade.
few counters now. So
Which was interesting to me. I couldn't quite understand it. I think he was trying to wait to get Delirium.
That would be my assumption, yeah.
be a nice play.
But then again,
That swamp down. Playing with nowhere to run.
Oh, that's
yeah,
not
I
a
think we
swamp.
thought he
that
had a
was what
swamp
I'm
in
saying.
hand, but he
You can't get the
didn't.
nowhere to run,
So that
push
means
through
that
the
both
damage.
cards he flipped off his
He
draw
doesn't
to,
have
he can't
5
play.
mana for the big
Ever.
Weezekin.
Ever,
Yeah, they're
ever,
gone.
ever.
They're
in
gone. Yep.
exile forever, and he just
Oh.
passes it
Can't
back.
open the other
Just
side of
unlocks
the-
an attack effect, doesn't attack, and then passes. Huge.
Yeah, Sam's feeling. Sam's. If I was Sam, I'd feel good about that.
Yep.
We'll be playing around.
And you've got
That's
turn 5 boiler biggles if you want it.
Not
Yeah, so we could play. So yeah, the Biggles is an enchantment, so I can play it off the paper. So I could play it for 4 mana and just get it on suspend, take out the 3/2. But if I wait for 1 more mana, I could just play the full version of it.
And
you've
isn't
seen
that
a
just so
lot of
much better?
removal from Yoan,
And
and a lot of
so,
removal that I think also hits it.
so I remember my thinking here is I don't want to run out the Biggles early because I want to bait out his removal with other things. But the only removal that I've seen from him that takes out the Overlord
and he can play
is the 5-mana deal 6, which just got exiled.
Yeah.
Final Vengeance, which he doesn't have
taps it down. Okay.
black mana for.
Ooh, this is and he's still got up his quench.
So true.
So I actually
believe
feel
it's,
kind of safe
make no sound.
running it
Don't make a
out.
sound.
Now this,
Don't make a sound.
yeah, everyone sees the 2 open mana and thinks, oh, guess we're not making a sound today.
So Sam,
Piggy,
I think
sure.
is feeling pretty good now. If he can slow,
Yeah, so
Yoan
not that you know this, but the Swarm Weaver is just chilling out in hand, and all Yoan wants you to do is kill the piggy bank.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm conscious that he doesn't have black mana because I'm really concerned about Swarmweaver and I'm really concerned about Final Vengeance. So
I would not be surprised at all if he jams.
what's going to be really interesting as we keep watching this is the lengths that I'm willing to go to not kill the piggy bank.
Yeah, in like worst case, you're still removing something.
Oh, I think I remember this.
So Yoan told me afterwards he was very happy to see me cycle the shark there because the shark's pretty good against his deck.
He's gonna,
But I really just wanted to hit my land drops.
you know, crack off the Wicker Folk after.
You know, unfortunately I drew a land as well,
Sam's a
but
big fan of just like
Slam the
making,
Biggles? What do we do here?
You know, Sam's still got a 2-1 on the board that he would have to tap to play out the Overlord. I think he just drew another land, so he does have the 6 lands naturally.
you haven't realised that I can play it off the Peeper.
I think he might, like, he might need the Peeper just.
Yeah, he needs the people to cast the Overlord this
No,
turn.
I do know
Okay,
it.
okay.
I know it.
Always smarter than I give you
I
credit
wouldn't be
for.
surprised if he doesn't go for it. It's a little early.
That's very.
None of those.
Is that a
threats are
compliment?
premium. One of the mediums, your
feels
treasure.
like not a compliment.
No, I think that's a compliment plus
Obviously is
a roast on
realizing
me because
he hasn't hit his black.
Ah,
I'm the not very
good.
smart one in this
Yoan
case.
on black,
Got him.
just to get rid of an inconsequential threat, I don't think is the go. So, don't know what
What's
he's
it gonna be?
for.
We do
He's
it.
in. We're biggling.
Picks off that.
Yeah, he's going to avoid giving him the treasure.
And the reasoning was the only things that I've seen that can remove it have
Little
been
does Sam know
either
that,
exiled or you don't have the
Yoan's
black mana
gonna
for
snap
it.
off immediately. This has to die, and
Well,
It's,
little
you
do
know,
you know
it's
that
2-for-1 for Sam.
it's going bye bye.
Sam has
But
gotten 2 cards out of.
hey, you picked up a card and had to spend the only removal spell in hand to get rid of it,
Ugh.
and
Not happy.
Not happy. Oh, actually, sorry. I think what actually happened was that the card that got exiled was the 5/6 mountain cycling thing, and so I knew that he could have
the risk you take,
the
and I
5
think
mana
Sam's deck
deal
is
6,
very adequate
but it was the only card in his deck that dealt with it. So I said, okay, I'm just going to take a risk here, and if he's got it, he's got it. And so, like, worst case scenario, he's got the thing. I've 2-for-1'd him, and he has to spend his whole turn dealing with this. As a worst case scenario, that's actually not even that bad.
Good spot to be
yeah, no, I agree. Like, you know,
piloting a blue deck.
of course, like the dream is just to play Boiler Bilges and ride it to victory, right?
Yeah, and like if it worked, if he didn't have it, I just win. Game's over.
Yeah.
Last game, he's
So
So-
true.
bested
That's,
parity on board.
I think that was a totally fine thing. Just pass.
So just
Love it.
continue
Just
passing the turn with
pass.
6 mana up. Gotta be
Crucial
making Yoan
mana
sweat a
dork
little
for
bit. Takes the 2
Yoan
straight
off the
back
top.
from the piggy bank.
I think that Young
She slams onto the table.
Piki's correct.
Mana
One of
dork.
the counterspells is the 2.
Do I want to counter Mana Dork?
Mostly play around.
So this is the
Well,
blue
no,
bank
you wanna-
for Sam, which
Maybe.
is
You
wanna
really
Glimmer
great
Burst.
play for
Let's draw
Sam.
some cards.
You put
Let's
Sam in
draw
Mark
some cards and then we'll make a decision.
Yeah, and importantly, Young's not doing a lot. He may be sandbagging.
Nope,
a couple of
you're
cards
fine.
until he
Just
can
passes.
Get them out of quench range or don't make a sound range, but
Land.
Crucially, Sam could have made the 1/1 before blocks and blocked the piggy bank, but I think he really is hedging his bets on the value.
That
of
might look like a mic error, but that's actually Adrian just swearing his head off.
yeah.
We try to stop him from doing this when he's on a public stream, but he just can't help
I am
himself.
a menace. I am a menace.
Congratulations, Damon. Doing it despite not being happy with his deck.
Yeah, well-
Do the most Damon thing ever.
So, I think what I'm thinking about
Maybe
now
that's
is,
the
do I want to
power, is now be happy
remove
with your
the
deck
Mana
and
Dork?
win.
Okay, returning to this. Who do you?
Can you? How do you remove the mana dork if you can?
I think I've got
Yoan's
something in
gonna
hand
come
that can kill it.
Sam's got 4 in the group.
And I remember
He's
thinking,
hit all his
like,
land jobs.
is that the way I want to fight this? Because the way that Yoan's playing, he's not done much with his mana every turn, so he's got to have black cards in hand.
Oh, is he gonna pass it back just like that?
Thinking about it.
So I'm really kind of incentivized
I'm nervous.
to not let him have black
3 cards in
mana.
hand for Yoan, 4 for
But
Sam.
at some point, I got to
I
stop
feel
the
like
piggy from hitting me.
So close. I think
You know,
with
like,
Sam
I'm gonna need to
Ball
deal with that at
Admiral,
some point.
I think Yoan's slightly
So,
favored, but Sam's got a lot
At some point, I'm just going to need to make the
Sam's got a lot of
decision that,
cards he can
okay,
play.
you can have black mana, and then
He's got a lot
we'll
of card advantage.
we'll just play the
I wouldn't
game
be
from there.
surprised. I want to favor Sam from here. Plays the 1-4.
1-4 though is pretty good against the 3-2.
Passes it back.
Okay, we're not going to keep fighting over the black mana. He can have it.
Still to pop off.
And it's possible I've got counterspell in hand ready for Swarm
I,
Weaver.
I think you do have Quench. I think you do have Don't Make a Sound.
Another dork from Yoan. So Yoan drew a little.
Which puts Yoan in a really
little bit of
interesting
break
position.
there.
Because does he want to lead with a bait spell
Mana docs are being
and hope that
Oh,
I
not only. Oh God.
I just got both?
Quench?
Just have both. That's easy.
Unable to scream.
and swords to toy shares.
Yeah. So we're feeling pretty good about this hand then.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but so but don't make sound, unable to scream, which is
Yeah, wow.
probably the biggest threat.
And I see in Yoan's hand the red land cycler, and I think he might just be.
Oh boy, if he jams the red land cycler here,
I think he will.
the bedhead beastie. I just noticed that the bedhead beastie has a bed for a head. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's got a bed on his head. Yeah.
Nearly every turn.
I'm very slow. I've been playing this format for like 7 years and I never noticed
Doesn't
that.
even pay attention. What the
No.
hell?
I thought it was just a funny hat.
Extra cost.
Ooh, secret cam.
Looking right over Sam's shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know what this cam is, but it's just as flickery. It's not as nice as Yoan's face cam.
This
but,
is
you
my
know.
hand. This is my hand cam. I'm just not showing you my hand.
This is a big turn. He can't afford to
Mm,
be
Back to Sam.
beating down
Very pensive.
for too much longer.
This
Very
does
thoughtful.
this does still feel close because like I don't have any pressure, and so if Yoan just keeps jamming threats and card advantage, you know what I've got in hand is only going to keep me around for so long. I do like this. I feel ahead, but
Sam
this is by no means over.
just in charge.
Get rid of
Four
it.
mana.
Get
Swarm
rid of
Weaver.
it. Snaps it off.
Absolutely right out of here.
Has to.
That one's got to go to the bin.
Okay, so Johan won't be thrilled by that, but he will be.
Left up a single mountain though. Not that it matters, but I don't know what's the rationale behind that.
Closer to the point
Um,
threats.
I remember I did that. Oh, representing turn inside out.
Down here.
Oh, okay. Wow, look at this. He's got a plan for everything.
But I don't think there's a single blue instant
Don't know what
in
it
this
is,
set,
though, but,
so I might as well represent.
I wouldn't be
that.
surprised if Sam is banking on Yohan having way more black cards in hand than he does.
So Yoan clearly thought quite a lot there about what he wanted
Snaps down
to
the
do.
dork.
You know, because it looked like I had a counterspell,
Not a room here.
but if it was the quench,
Not a room.
because I did pass with the 1 and a blue up earlier, so it does look like I've got the quench. So he just decided, okay, I'm going to run into the one that I can pay for,
Where he could
and unfortunately I had
the other side
I had the other one.
and hold up his counterspell,
Well, fortunately for you.
which would be an option.
Yeah, so like because we had quite a bit of time to chat just there, and so Yoan thought for quite a while about how he wanted to deal with that, and
attacking and putting.
I wouldn't be surprised if you sift here.
Maybe it's
And I think you do, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I think I probably should have tapped the peeper to do that, but
Oh no, sorry, this is the sift. This is the sift.
that's all right.
So a lot of cards for Sam here.
Drowned dinner.
I'm thinking of whether he wants to discard that.
Not how I like my dinner usually.
No.
But part of the motivation in doing that is it lets that Soul Rager start being bigger.
The land.
Do you need 2 rooms for that?
Sam is flush his cards.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Rounds in for
In.
4.
Let's go.
In. I can't believe it.
Yep.
This seems fine. I've got my 2/1 to block the piggy, and that's his only threat.
With don't make a sound up, and
So maybe
Maybe
I
actually
was
Yoan, if he
right in the
wants
moment.
to
I shouldn't have
go
tapped
for
that
the
peeper.
spells no spends his mana.
Gremlini.
So The floodgates are open for Yoan here to drop.
Everyone's favorite little candle-eating guy.
So I-
Yeah.
Bedhead.
Look at the stress.
Yeah, I know. Wow, he's sweating.
So the I think what was going through my head there was Yoan has been playing quite conscious of the fact that I've got Quench in hand. You know, he's never run into it, and he's got so much mana now. Right, 6 lands plus 2 mana dorks. The Quench is unlikely to snipe anything. So I might as well just play out another creature that can... Yoan's stressed as well. That can block his piggy, start getting some looting for me. I think just continuing to not play out the cards in my hand while I'm holding up the Quench at this point in the game is just not smart.
Drops his second mountain for the game, so he doesn't have to tap his dorks to play the beastie.
You know, like if he plays the beastie here, he can pay for it. So.
Yeah, if he just plays it and then...
Oh, but yeah, and you're cheering also because you have Swords to Toy shares.
That's the
which deals
thing.
with that very
Not great
nicely.
for Yoan,
That's the
but,
thing.
Sam definitely looking in a slightly better position here.
I think at this point,
I've assessed the position, Sam, and I think you're looking slightly better.
I think I've got a mark on my face from where I've been, like, holding my head in anxiety.
Is there a way where he can be a little less vulnerable?
Something I was conscious of as I remember watching that. Oh, he attacks! He attacks! I'm going,
his
what the
O4s?
hell is this? They get +1 from the room.
Oh.
What the heck?
There's no way.
Oh, look at
I refuse to
Yoan.
believe he's attacking with the O4.
Stone cold.
Don't know what he's doing if he's not.
Is he just really trying to put Sam in the brain blender? Just being like, hey, what do you think I've got?
So what does this mean? Like, what do you think that... Like, why would he do that? What goes through your head when he makes a play like that?
I honestly have no idea.
On Sam.
I'm thinking
He doesn't need to put
Fear
some
of Burning
damage on.
Alive.
I don't know what he has.
Oh,
in
you're thinking
hand to
Phoba.
actually
he needs to
do
get
that. I know
me
he's got the-
to 4, and then Phoba
plus
will
one
kill me.
plus O. So these are attacking for 1 each.
Right?
So
Because I can
these
block
are
one
not
of them
O4s, these are
safely,
1/4s, but
and either chump or just let one through on the other one. Why would he make this play just to get through 1 damage? It's because 1 damage is
Do I
meaningful.
try and eat a dork at the risk
And if I'm at 9,
brick and, like, 2
1
for
damage is not
hand?
meaningful. So I'm actually at a much lower life total than that, and I just don't realize it.
Got counter spells. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, just lets it happen.
Okay, so
Takes one.
actually just... like,
Plays the beast.
Okay, boom.
Sam's grinning now, though. If that's all that Yoan had, Sam is like, deal.
So this is the first threat. Big menacing dude.
I think he's just.
So
gonna
Yoan's hoping that that one...
snap it off.
That one can drop me to 3, and then
Probably
Phoba can finish me off. I'm just
Wait,
assuming he
wait.
has Burning Alive in hand.
Just players?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, so now I'm playing the game with that in mind.
I like using the fresh island.
I don't think he would have made that play if he was just hoping to draw it. Maybe he would have, but...
Uses the
Alright,
fresh island.
that can go away. 1 mana
I like
to
how
deal
you
with...
peeled it out of your hand straight onto it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like it.
Oh yeah, gotta put
Yoan's
some
board
panache
was
on
looking
it.
Scary. Now it's not. He has a 2-1, a 4, and an O2.
Yoan would have had to have realized I was.
Oh, one of my favorite things about this match is as the cameras keep panning between the two of us,
And
it's
clowns down,
Yoan happy,
6.
me stressed, and then next turn, me happy, Yoan stressed.
Yeah, just a complete emotional roller crusher if you,
Nice, yeah.
to make the joke.
2 mana here from Sam. 2 mana for a
Yeah,
3/3.
3/3.
Really nice on this board, especially when you get to keep all your mana up.
Yeah, so.
Just pass.
That's a
okay.
very confident pass of the turn from Sam. When you get the 3-fingered pass of the turn from Sam, you know things aren't going great.
Look how well Adrian knows me.
Insight.
It's so true.
Which I dare not.
When you just flick the fingers out,
Yeah,
I'm convinced it's a tell that you have counter magic.
Towards Sam.
that's great.
Depending on how Yoan draws from here, if Yoan really draws hot, I know he's got Fear of Burning Alive. I think he's
Yeah.
up to
Mhm.
Delirium. I see Artifact, Creature, Instant, Land.
Oh, there's
So
Phoba.
Fear of Burning Alive really puts Sam in the danger zone life total wise, and picks off the
So,
premier
one thing I wasn't
threat.
thinking about is that
he doesn't have land in the bin. He does not have
the thing I just turned into a toy
here.
can attack here.
It's not great, but then again, Sam's
It'll
got
have one
quench.
power.
Yeah, so I think if Johan can go land, like play a land, he can pay for the quench.
Oh, look at the stress.
Pretty
And by now-
stressful.
By now we've got every other match in the room finished, so ours is the last semi-final going. Everyone is eyes on
Two
this.
forests for a fight.
Okay, gonna
Not
use
a
the
fight, for a punch.
use the piggy to punch
For a punch with a
my 3/3.
A 2-1?
He's clearing the blockers away, and
Would just let this happen.
is there
Thinking.
something I want to do about that?
Thinking.
That's right.
This is
that just a
really
punch
funny.
For a 2-1, or is the piggy bank a 3-2?
The bear trap.
Oh!
But
He's going for bad
Johan
tracks.
Going
reminds
for
me
bear
right
trap,
now
showing
that
him a 2 for 1.
the monstrous emergence, the spell itself deals the damage, not the
The
creature.
spell deals the damage.
Looks like he will.
So clearing the creature in response does not,
Or does he just want?
and that's just me
does he
checking that
want
with the
Johan
judge.
to feel the fear.
That's me saying, okay, I cast this bear trap. So,
Let's
okay.
it happen.
And my guy goes.
Wanted to see if Johan.
I mean,
gets scared.
look, that's
Johan, being a
fine.
seasoned player, knows that show me the activation.
Good guy Johan for actually
Yeah,
pointing out
it's
how that
interesting.
interaction worked before I did it. That was a class act of him.
Change of
Reading the card.
Oh, it's because it wouldn't do anything
There we go. Cells
Does,
picked it
does
up.
explain the card.
of the way Monstrous Emergence works.
Oop, head in hand.
Oh, as you cast.
Head in hand.
Yeah.
So
Okay, maybe a
I've
little
just
bit
lost a
of
blocker.
Almost punt from Sam.
So then if Johan turns everything sideways,
But it's not.
I can kill the 3/2, and then there's
He's
two
feeling it though. He's feeling
two
it.
1-power things.
He's feeling it. He doesn't like that he missed that.
Certainly don't like making mistakes on
Luckily
camera.
At a
Okay, in
critical
comes
juncture
everything.
in
So
the game.
if I let the 2 through, I go to 6, which is effectively 2 if we're assuming he's got Fear of Burning Alive.
Also, error by Johan. He has tapped the enchantment and not the creature. Oh, there, he fixed it. There we go.
Nice.
He's smiling. He's grinning.
He's like, I may not win the battle, the war, but I've won this particular battle.
So it's
You're
like, dude,
representing
is it
mana.
worth
I think from what we've seen,
chumping
He doesn't have tricks. He
to
doesn't
save
have-
1 life?
So
Sam deciding whether to jump.
Sam's looking at taking.
You know, on top of Fear of Burning Alive, are there any 2 damage effects that I need to be worried about?
Interestingly, the
You know, there's the tormenting voice that can deal 2 damage. Am I supposed to be thinking about
Pass
that?
that off. So
So let's
gives
just
him
nug that before we
access
make
to
any
that.
decisions. Gets a
I'm
treasure.
impressed by Johan's ability to like keep his eyes on the prize and get in the damage where he could. He might be thinking, "Hey, look, I've got a 0-4 and a 0."
I agree with Cell.
Maybe I should just keep these to block or jump, but he's using
Okay,
it to get
take
the
it.
damage where he can because he realizes he can't.
Okay, you got a 6.
Cell was just
I
saying
think Sam takes
he was so
2.
impressed at
Your
Johan's
pass
ability
turns straight
to
back.
identify how he could win this
And
game.
that looks like
You know,
another
last turn where he attacked with 2
from
0-4s.
Sam.
That was Johan
Yes.
saying, my path is to get you low enough that I can kill you with
By
Burning
all
Alive.
accounts,
And so that's how I'm going to play this game. We push
Sam's thinking,
damage.
Johan looks pretty dead. What has he got? I have counter spells. I have a menace.
And I think most players would have missed
2-2,
that.
a 4-4. Doesn't attack with a 1-1.
Yeah, I think
Puts
he
him to
could use
2.
So now this is turning into a tight race.
I back the keeping the 100.
Okay,
There's another paper,
Peeper.
passes the
And I
turn.
decide
Okay.
not
Wow.
to discard the quench
Very, very
to the
tight
gremlin.
turns here, and Johan's drawn a red spell.
A lot on the
So
line here, very
my
line.
thinking here is if he
Deep on
plays
the line.
Fear of Burning Alive,
Australian
that
dollars
puts me to
prize
2,
up for grabs.
and then he won't have the mana to do anything else if I've got the quench.
Is that actually what he's drawn?
It is not,
Oh.
thankfully.
So yeah, if Johan had drawn grab the prize,
Right, because he's got
Um,
8 mana
Sam,
total, including one of the
Sam could
creatures,
die out of nowhere if he takes too much damage.
and I've got 2 blockers. So the Burning Alive can put me to 2.
You know, would be putting Sam on the don't make a sound, and so
And then
even some of his like some of the more useful threats, like his
it's I can't quite see a way that I die here.
and he's
But I am very stressed nonetheless.
I do not blame you. Also, crucially, Yoan does not have delirium.
There's got to be a lot.
I think he does. I remember the commentators. I remember you and Cell saying that he didn't, but I'm pretty sure he did.
He buys
I think he's only got artifact creature instant.
because he doesn't like soda water.
Oh, maybe it's sorcery. I don't know.
1.25-liter bottle you can buy, and then he fills it with water.
Go on, tell that story. You love this story.
That is the way I fully agree with. So,
Okay, he casts Burning Alive. I cast the Quench. And Yoan played a land from hand.
Oh, Fear of Burning Alive. Wow, he had it. Quenched by Sam.
So he was able to pay for the Quench
He could pay
while
for
not
it.
having to
1, 2, 3,
tap
4, 5, 6,
his
7,
1/4.
he could. Oh, did he play another land?
I fall to 2.
He did. So he could pay for it. Sam gets the
I
Surveil.
take my Surveil.
Any other cards. 2 damage apiece.
I'm counting 7 lands.
And I
that
top.
tapped his 0/4, so I'm not sure how he's gotten to 8, but it might be something I'm missing.
Oh, the treasure.
Well, you're alive. You're fine.
But,
Yeah, so what's he got in the graveyard? Artifact creature.
and is he on delirium?
Yeah, maybe he didn't have Delirium, so he couldn't pick off
He's not
a
onto
blocker.
Delirium,
Okay,
so he
okay.
did not kill anything.
My gosh, this is
Yeah, I think he only had artifact creature sorcery.
both players deep in the tank.
As you can see from the footage, we've developed a little bit of an audience.
So now he's got to decide if he wants to attack, because he's on 2 as well. It is 2 apiece.
To meet Delirium.
This is some close stuff. This is a very cool game to watch.
So if he attacks with both, I have to block 1, so maybe I block with...
He doesn't have it, but at the same time, you know...
If I block with the 1/1, then I've got 2 lethal threats.
At least give him a chance.
Who do you like from here?
I think Sam's got the tools in hand to possibly win next turn. I don't know for sure,
I think.
but that being said,
I don't think Yoan has a card in hand anymore.
No, I think he's
seal the lead
empty-handed.
Next turn. I think Yoan's empty-handed at this point.
Yep.
Past Adrian validates
Goes in
this.
for 1. What a madman! Goes in for 1 with no mana open, saying, "Would you like to throw away one of your creatures that could kill me?" And the answer
So,
from Sam is yes.
The reason I do this is I know the top card of my deck, and it is the Boiler Bilger's Ripper.
Oh, really? That was the top card of your deck?
I surveilled, I mean, it went from the second top card to the top card,
So Sam had the
and I left it on
ETB
top,
sack a
and then when
creature,
I drew for my turn, I just picked up the top card of my deck and slammed it onto the battlefield. 2 damage to face.
Reeling right now. What a sign. Sam wins the tightest game we've seen today.
Yeah, that was an all-time.
What an
Wow,
unreal
what a
game.
game.
Some really good games here at the Metro.
Just incredible.
Thrills and spills, Sam.
I thought I had such tight control of things, and then
We're gonna
Yoan
get
just
Sam
sees,
into
okay,
a,
Fear of Burning
little
Alive,
bit of
burn,
an
kill.
interview.
Let's
I'm
do
really
it.
excited to hear
And he just pushes for that ends. And he came so close to getting there.
Him having black.
Have you gone back to look at what turn he draws the Phoba?
Game 3, it's got to be like that.
No, I haven't.
It's very late. It's way after you put him on it. Like, once you
really?
start to act like he's got it, he doesn't draw it for another few turns. But
Right.
then he, like, rips it just as he needs it. It's, like, insane.
That's even more
100%.
impressive then,
I'm
because it's easy to see the card in your hand
ability to
and say, oh, okay,
like,
this is my plan.
push forward this aggressive
But
footing.
Yoan identified, okay, I can't win this game
you feel
through
like he's
traditional
always
means,
in front.
so I need to draw Fear of Burning Alive
He really sort of
and
tests
then
you.
get a bunch of damage in beforehand, and he started playing aggressively before that.
So let's welcome
Unbelievably impressive
our
from
other
Yoan to
finalist,
recognize that
Samuel
was his plan.
100%. This is where we get you in. Oh, let's go.
All right, interview time. I've got a mic.
Oh, you got a mic?
Yeah, no, this is great.
This is not allowed. So Sam,
Okay, so do you want to pause it real
First
quick?
question.
Yeah.
How
What you might not notice here, and something that I recognized after I watched that footage back for the first time.
Thousand-yard stare on Sam
I'm
right now.
cooked. My brain is absolutely fried. Like, I can barely sit up. Like, you and Cell kept the commentary going so naturally, just analyzing what was going on, very calm. I was so stressed and so tense through all of that. I think I played it okay, which I'm really happy about, given that I was so stressed. But when it finished, it was like I'd been sitting underwater for the last hour, and only now I'd been allowed to breathe. So I'm just feeling anoxic. Like,
I just love this screenshot. Staring into the middle distance.
so you're feeling you're just in commentator mode. Like, you're doing very well here.
I'm fine.
And you seem to expect the same of me, and like I can barely get words out. So let's play this. This is a fun interview.
I remember not noticing at the time though, so
annoyed were you when he played the Wicker Folk on turn 2 every game?
The third time I was like, why are you doing this to me? What did I do to deserve this?
We watched Yoan only draw hot sevens,
Yeah.
and you like agonized over that mole.
Yeah.
Was that the round 2 mole or the round 3 mole?
It was around 3. Did you see what it was?
So I saw single blue
Yeah.
island, and you had a bunch of rooms, bunch of blue spells, and 1 red spell.
Yeah, so I had the blue Scry 2.
So you're doing
room,
great.
Savell
Oh,
2
the
room, and the shark.
Not bad, given how brain
could
dead I
have just
am.
gone island, Savell 2, find a land, play the land, cycle the shark, get my other land.
yes, this is why I had no idea. I'm like, oh, Sam's great.
Drop, I'm dead.
Sam's doing
yeah,
great.
yeah, 100%. And he did.
And he did. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So I agonized over it, but I realized I can hit my land drops and then die. So it wasn't even worth it. So the hand I mulled into, I think was okay. Like just being able to put a 2-drop down to block the Wicker Folk.
Adrian's like, stop fiddling with your
Magically
arms.
builds into his hand.
Put the arms down, Adrian.
every game.
It was kind of cool.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Strong. The second time we're like, oh, he's got it again,
Yeah.
and the third time we're like, okay, what's going on here?
It's just,
Can we
it's
get
just a hack.
Can we get a judge
It's
call every game?
hacks. Yeah, it's not okay.
So the other thing I want to ask you is
Exhaustion.
Hard. My brain is scrambled.
how I noticed you were, or at least my conception was, he didn't have black lands.
Yes.
And he had the piggy bank.
Yes.
And you seemed very hesitant to put him on black by giving
Yes.
him the treasure.
Correct.
That was purposeful.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So because I saw he was missing black, and he's got several black bangers.
Yep.
I really tried to not let that piggy die. And then he played the 2-mana dork, and I actually even thought about turning it into a toy
Oh wow.
to keep him off black, because he was
Wow.
3 cards in hand and making really mediocre plays. So one of them had to be the Swarm Yard Scarecrow stupid card. One of them could have been Final Vengeance, and then the other one was probably a 6-drop.
Yeah. Okay.
Was kind of what I was thinking.
That's pretty close. I think that's 2 out of 3.
The longer I could.
That's
keep him off
you.
that black
Yeah,
mana,
very well done.
the better off I was going to be. So I was going to have to block it at some point because I was getting low, and he has Fear of Burning Alive in his deck, so I couldn't get too low. So I was probably going to have to block it the next turn anyway. So in the end, I decided it was a bit of a lost fight. I'd held him off, and I let him have his black mana, and I held up my counter spells for that turn. Managed to snag the Scarecrow, and just held it out.
Yeah,
it
really
was-
impressive. Also, other thing I want to get your insight on.
Yeah.
You run out the Overlord.
Yes.
You pick something off.
Yes.
Are you thinking, look, if he removes it, he removes it. I'm 2 for 1 dim. I'm the value king. Off we go. Or are you like, I need to ride this to victory. I'm hoping he doesn't have removal.
It was, well, so the only 2 removal spells he'd shown me that could kill it were Final Vengeance.
Yep,
look
it's
at-
black. Yep.
because
Look at the
it
memories on
lost
these
the
guys.
treasure,
Mm.
And the 5-mana deal 6.
Okay, which is the one he had.
So if he didn't have that 5-mana deal 6, only card in the deck I'd seen that could kill it, I would have just ridden it to victory and I would just win the game right there.
Yeah, if he didn't have it, it was so over for him.
Yeah. I've played my guy, removed one of his threats, and then he has to spend his entire turn removing that, and then I'm basically back to just where I was before anyway. So there was part of me that wanted to hold on to it to see if I could like bait out that removal, but if he was sitting there with Final Vengeance in hand, unable to cast it, and I gave him time,
Yeah.
that wasn't going to work
That's
out.
a really
anyway.
good
So
point.
the upside there was really high, and the downside wasn't even that bad. I had other win conditions, so
Also, game 2, how afraid were you of milling out?
That was Johan's win plan.
Yeah.
He was asking me a couple of times, is that a mandatory draw? And he counted my library at one point. I wasn't too concerned because it's not like I was milling out. I was going to draw my deck. And if I draw my deck and can't kill him, there's something wrong with it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I drew a lot of cards and then overwhelmed him with card advantage. So I wasn't that stressed. That was his plan, and as long as that was his plan, I was pretty happy.
Also, I'm like really loath to tell you, but Johan's lighting was way better.
Okay, we're back onto lighting chat. We didn't seem to get it on camera, but yeah, Johan did get a couple of library counts in that game too, when I was drawing so many cards.
Oh, that's just normal.
Yeah, right.
So
I'm a sweaty nerd. He's an elegant Frenchman. Like, there's nothing we can do.
you got some finals
Oh my god.
against Damon, I believe.
Oh my god.
Who is a personal challenge of yours. I
Yeah.
don't think you've beaten Damon before.
Excuse me? Speak for yourself.
I haven't either.
Got him.
Damon doesn't lose
You
much.
have beaten Damon before?
More times than he's beaten me, in fact.
Oh, okay. Well,
The real question is whether we draw, even though we don't have time
because we've got a lot of people, on the table who are like, I've never beaten Damon, can't beat him.
Yeah.
So, good luck in the final.
Thank you.
We'll be cheering for you, and hope to see some good games.
Yeah, that's not talking things up for no reason. Damon is an extremely high level player.
Damon is very, very good. And while we wait for game 3, let's skip ahead.
I think they
Okay, so let's go. Adrian's got Richard in the booth with him.
Damon has been.
Damon's deck did
basically
not look
spent
impressive.
most of his deck on
It
I'm
was
very nervous.
a
Yeah.
bunch of like
Damon's not a
derpy
fan
white
of
2-drops
his deck.
mostly.
You don't get into the final for nothing.
I
But-
definitely remember having a waltz around in between the matches and going, man, Sam might have this. Sam, like,
So
I've seen Sam's deck do its thing, and I've seen Damon's deck do its thing, and I think
on the right.
Sam's got a really good choice today. Chance, at least.
But one of the things about Damon that I've seen time and time again is we will draft. I'll look at his deck. I'm like, what happened here? What did you train wreck? This doesn't look for good. And then he will 3-0.
So he can discard stuff. Two of those.
And sometimes I think, am I just terrible at deck evaluation?
No, it's gonna
But honestly, it's that Damon might be the best player I've ever seen at making the most out of his cards. So even if his cards look underpowered, he will find the ways to get every little edge out of them. And so he can win with just anything,
Knowing Damon,
which makes him a...
So aggressive.
Okay, I'm talking with Damon there about the last time we were on... last time I was on camera and you were commentating, and I gave the finger guns to indicate who had won the die roll. And you interpreted that as just me being stylish and not communicating something to the viewers. So I was really obvious with it this time.
Sam's a fan of the 3-4. Damon is also a fan of the 3-4, but the individual pickup.
Individual pickup is cursed. If you do that to me at a tournament, I will call a judge on you for slow play.
We've got some-
You don't need to pick up your cards one at a time. Pick them all
Yeah,
up.
I think Sam's going to be pretty happy with
Well,
that.
that's what Damon did.
so rummage on
We're not on a clock. I let him have it.
Great.
Okay.
Great. So off we are with the island, and
Damon must be happy with his as well.
yeah, let's
Oh, I think we're rewinding. David
Oh,
might
hang
be
on.
happy
No,
with
he
his.
may not be happy at all.
I think we're just fixing up the cameras here. All right, so
there's
Altenac,
We have the
Machete,
the 2-drop survival guy,
Wary Watchdog, and the Acrobat, the 2/2 that gets a flying counter.
Good lord, did the machete do work for
He
Damon?
is,
Just to, like,
and
spoilers a little
flexing
bit.
on us with the
No
basic
no spoilers.
here.
Very nice basic plan.
Okay, I kick things off.
Oh, he's got a nice 3-drop. He's got his gold card.
Ours are back with the planes, and Sam is dropping the 2-drop. We have the irrelevant.
The irrelevant gremlin. I think
Hell
this is no. Damon told me later that
do we have 2-drop from
it was only
Damon?
after this event that he learned that card was actually called irreverent. He thought it was actually called irrelevant because that's what I kept calling it,
I think he'd,
That's
he's
so
got another
good.
2-drop
which is
ready
just
to go.
hilarious.
So he'd like to push through his survivor card, give it flying. It doesn't look like he's going to have a great way to do that, and he might just want to push for more damage with the dog. Yep, and
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
set up for a little reanimation stuff.
The dog is in surveils 2. the top.
So we feel okay about this. Now, Damon obviously wants to get the storyteller down next turn. So I wonder if I'm going to hold up a counter spell here.
He's got
Oh,
a
we
little
Get in
bit
for 2
of
with
reason,
Menace.
Okay.
But I think holding up the counterspell with Glimmerburst open is a much better play.
Richard's got it.
Yeah, I big agree.
Okay,
So
let's just play out
play
the
the flyer,
apparition.
we get a rummage. We're discarding a land. We're drawing a card,
Nice, draw more spells.
which is a
Or lands.
mountain.
Draw more
Big
lands.
back. So if Sam wished, he could trade off the 1/3 for the 3/1, but I don't feel like
Very good
Never
choice of
forget.
lands from Damon.
Well, if he wants to get a little fancy,
It was
he
this
can
abnormally
take it easy
hot
on Damon's turn.
beginning of like October day, and we had the air conditioning blasting in that room.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not. Like
But it still wasn't really good enough. Like I remember being like in the sun. There was a window just to our right, and it was kind of warm all the time.
Plays the gold card.
If we didn't have aircon in there, I just would have been a puddle.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam would have just actually died. Ooh,
Overlord.
Ooh, Overlord.
there's the boiler biggles.
Alright,
We
I
like
think he
the
was looking
Overlord.
fancy this game.
I would not be surprised if Sam just drops the mountain, snaps off the uncommon, the green-white card, and just asks Damon what he's gonna do about it.
Yeah.
Green White's got the answers, but
Yeah, so we can drop down Boiler Biggles on enchantment mode, kill his thing, or I could hold up
100%.
Vanish,
And
And
I believe
Glimmer
that is
Burst?
the Tuck and the
and I've got more
Glimmer
lands in hand, so I can possibly just play Boiler Bilges as a creature in a few turns. All right, we pass. Because the other thing here is, if he attacks with bow,
if he really wants to just,
I can Glimmer Burst, block the 3/1 with the 1/1.
leaving a point of damage,
which
on
I'm
the
happy
table by
with.
not having the enchantment enter
The Storyteller gets a counter, but then I
first. Maybe he's
can
just not gonna do it.
vanish the Storyteller, and
Maybe
the
he
counter
might be
doesn't
going
matter.
for the tuck.
I mean, one
True.
thing with the
Very
Boiler
true.
specifically is 4 turns and 2 mana. It's pretty likely that he hits 6 mana before all the impending counters come off.
That's a really good
Richard's
point.
got it.
In the meantime, he's got Glimmerburst to draw into the lands. He's
I remember
got the
both from
tuck
last event and this one how
just
good
cast.
Richard was at like deducing
on
what
his
my
turn.
what
I guess
all
he
the
just
players
doesn't wanna
thinking
risk,
was, like thinking multiple turns ahead. He was really good at.
Or some other way to get a
Yeah,
Working
Richard is
that out.
fantastic at that actually.
So Damon's
Yeah.
wondering where he wants to
I
put it.
remember
He
being
might
very
also have a
impressed.
read on. Oh no, Damon hasn't missed.
We
the-
tucking.
so
Are we tucking
Damon doesn't have
now?
any lands
Looks like we're doing it now.
otherwise he
Interesting.
could put it on top and miss out on potentially drawing a land next turn. Considering he has Altenac in his hand.
Okay.
Gets rid of it. Wow.
And I don't know how the life counter is being updated, but I believe this puts Damon to...
So I wonder what the rationale for doing it
5?
immediately
15?
was.
I hope not 5.
Could have
I
been
think
to deny
Yeah, because he took 2 and then he's taken 3.
Damon the information
So, still
about what he
41.
was going to draw.
Equivalent amounts of damage being exchanged.
I can't remember if there's a hexproof trick
Did he top it or
to
bottom
be
it?
worried
He
about.
bottomed it.
He bottomed
He
it.
wanted something new.
Oh, there's the horrid
So
vigor.
he's
You know
saying
the
that He
one.
needs to go a little bit
Oh yeah.
But I think that gives indestructible and
preferably Sam
hexproof,
before-
right?
Before Sam can get his counters and
Or does it death touch and indestructible?
Gets down for 3. Sam
So I don't know.
block.
Maybe I was a little
I
bit
think he's
overcautious
thinking about
there.
lining up that 2/4 on 3/1.
Okay, gets a
Okay,
base.
totally happy with a centipede. That's not very
s-
threatening right now.
Centipede?
The Spine Seeker Centipede. Very nice one. We'll see if he's getting a swamp here. That would be...
Gets an
Oh.
island.
Ooh.
I don't actually know. I know what it's for. It's for Zamone.
Oh.
So I don't think he has Zamone in hand, but he is.
Now,
he is,
I didn't know
putting
that Damon
himself
had
life to draw
Zamone.
in.
My
That's his
matches had
basic
gone so
turn.
long that I hadn't been able to scope out anyone else's decks.
Ah.
So,
Zamone, did you know that almost all odd
Ooh.
numbers under 15 are prime?
All except 9.
math facts with Zamone. So land for Sam. Sam is.
He's got 6
He-
lands lined up.
He's got the sixth land in hand.
And we keep getting in. Like, I'm on the beat down
He's
here.
just gonna represent.
You are.
The,
You totally are.
Now, I really liked this pass of the turn here because I've got Glimmerburst,
No rush to
but
the Gremlin.
No rush.
I could easily have
I guess,
Twist, I could
the
easily
Gremlin
have
trigger is
Don't Make a Sound,
after the Gremlin.
could be lots of different things.
Looking a little
And Damon spoke out loud here. He said, okay, you've got Glimmerburst. I'm not going to attack with the 3/1.
Because I guess no, so he gets to see the cards first. So he's probably gonna draw a land.
nice.
He'll rummage
And
it.
I was gobsmacked.
So-
I was like,
Sam's gonna.
I've got so many different counter spells in this deck, and you know I've got
hitting the
them.
lands.
And yet
not
you
a
just
huge
immediately
threat
snap
presence, but the
deduced
3-1's doing
that it
damage.
was Glimmerburst
And this 2/4 line
and didn't attack. And like these are the reasons, like most players would not sniff
You
that
can
out.
get out of it with the removal spell, but that's one less removal spell. For
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
true.
I'd
don't
like-
know if he has any
I'd be like, well, it's definitely a possibility.
I
Yeah.
think he's got some.
But you'd
not a
also acknowledge, like,
certainty.
oh, okay, it could be counter spells, it could be another vanish, it could be a tuck spell. Like, there's so many different things it could
Doesn't
be.
get rid of the Overlord though.
But he was so sure in his read that he doesn't attack with the 3-1 here.
Manifesto.
Which, like,
So I
these are
think
the
we're gonna
edges
see an
that Damon
acrobat
gets that
here.
means he can win with anything.
Perhaps.
Very.
And
That's
what is
very
what makes him so hard to beat.
Disturbance to
Attacking this time, or he wants to tap Sam out before he attacks.
Yep, another 2-drop.
There's the
So this is
acrobat.
smart, yeah. You play things pre-combat just in case it's counter spell that I've got. Might be able to attack with that
I'm
3-1.
going to kill it.
But even if I had a counter spell, like I don't care about the acrobat.
Oh, has a wee think about it.
It gets quite tricky because there's a lot Sam can do at different times, and playing green-white, you just don't get to participate. In the same
Teddy,
ways
not going to counter that either.
Plays out the teddy bear.
But maybe this is more information for Damon that, okay, maybe it's not counterspell. It's probably not the quench, at least.
One white mana.
He doesn't attack and I have to play it on end
I
step.
will Glimmer Burst now.
And Damon's like, yeah, I knew you had that.
To go and find my.
I'm a soul reader.
I mean, you're fine though. You love it that he didn't attack there. You're like, this is great.
I wanted to draw 2 cards and kill his 3-power creature.
Rummage. So he did draw an extra land. So yep, the rummage is going to be great for Sam.
Got him to spare.
Yeah, so we get a rummage off the 1/1 entering because of the gremlin.
Board is nice and clogged up.
I'm still just
No attack
blown
on
away
that,
at that read.
And Sam, I think,
Wow.
is just going to clown on down.
All right, so we've got Overlord
This
mana now.
Overlord is,
Do we
Just slam it.
slam it?
Damon's point
Do we
of view
just do we
so
keep
far is just
keep
to
clogging the
avoid
board up with other
X,
things?
Maybe I can attack, maybe I
Try to
can't.
get a
I reckon
removal
if I
spell?
was in your position here, I would be slamming.
I think
Because I could play the Boiler Bilges
is trying to
Ripper,
represent the hexproof trick.
sack the 1/1, pick
Sam
off
on his
anything. That might draw out a
Get it
removal.
on down, Sam. Get it
There it
on
comes.
down.
No lying about it now.
Goodbye. That's in the bin.
Get outta here.
Now Damon gets to decide. what
And
he
then
does with the rest
that
of
gets a
the
trigger,
turn.
get in for
two. Get in for 2.
Amazing.
And does Damon have an answer?
He doesn't
He's
have
got
a lot to
alternate.
draw. Oh, he does
Rips
have
Oh,
a-
it
the
just
answer.
rips the answer. Why does this happen to me?
Expensive spell. Will do it this turn.
Rips the answer and has the mana to pay for it.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Which is classic.
It'd be a
It's
disaster
classic
if he
Damon.
waits for it to be tapped.
Oh, yeah.
But
He would
again,
love to do
it's the
that
same
to
thing as
the
last time, right? Like if he has to
It's a
spend all his
5-drop or
mana
6-drop?
to
It's 5 mana,
remove
normally 2 mana if the
my
creature
guy, then we're back over to me.
sees from slumber.
Like he still can't really attack. I can. I've got more things to play. I'm probably fine.
He can
Yeah.
get a good attack in with.
Yeah, the
eight.
game's not just over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't attack with the dog yet, but he might be able to get a little frisky, find some ways in.
First
Okay,
card in the bin
just-
for
he doesn't really have attacks here.
Damon.
You know, 3/1 just trades with
It's the answer he
1/1.
wanted, and he's-
Centipede doesn't have
He's like,
Delirium. The 2/2 just runs into the
do I let him
1/3.
And the answer is no. You just can't.
So
I
this
think
is
Damon's
this is
just finding
fine.
an excuse to do anything else, but
Yeah, he's got to do it. Away.
All right, goodbye.
So Damon's got a creature and an
So I think Damon was thinking there. Can I play another spell, a 2 or a 3 drop, and then get the removal spell on the cheap mode? But you can't afford to let the bill just attack again.
Yeah.
So I'm drawing quite a few lands here, which is a little
Or to
concerning.
like let you attack with the counter spell. It's the downside is so high.
Yeah, so
3/3.
it sucks to have to
Damon's
just
also got 2 copies
destroy and then
of the
pass the
1/4
turn when
bigger
you're trying to be the
than
beatdown, but
rampaging
it was the right
drop.
call.
But no rooms on the board yet.
No room's on the board, but Damon doesn't look like he has great attacks into 1/4, so he might just slam 2 of them down and just wall up,
That's
keep
true.
hitting him with the flyer.
That's a really good point. So Sam taking his time on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go for just play the 2 1/4s, but it'd be mighty tempting to just exchange a token for one of his real creatures.
The other upshot is if he keeps getting rummages off this irreverent gremlin, it's really gonna let him keep hitting gas. You know, keep rummaging away all the extra lands.
100%. I feel like Sam's got
What a coverage team. So
actually,
good.
Like the kind of deck that can.
We're the best.
Okay, so we're going to
Make
play...
use of a lot of lands.
Yeah.
Gets the rummage. Crucially, a 1/4.
Play our
You don't
fourth
get that
Elra.
rummage
Ooh.
if,
Very
you've got two
nice,
rooms.
Samuel.
Love me some arseworks.
So Sam draws a room, I believe.
Setting things up.
And does he just play the extra 1/4?
So yeah, I could just play another Rampager here.
Nailed it. Like wall up. Play
Or
it,
I could
and
play
then
the
if you got the mana,
Glassworks. I just
if
don't
he
think I
rips
need
a
to
land, then
play
you can open both
the
halves.
Glassworks here. Like, I don't care
Yeah,
about any of
that's.
this
I think what
threats.
I was thinking as well. Like it does. Like you prefer to actually catch something consequential,
He's just gonna
Yeah.
play the other 1/4.
and I don't
There it
think you
is.
rummage
Hey, look,
here.
I've got two.
Yeah.
And an attack for 1.
Attack for 1.
Hell yeah.
Nice little flick of the card into the red zone there.
Yeah.
He didn't push it, he just tapped it in.
He was like, see this? Yeah.
And that's attacking you. Damon's got a board of creatures that cannot attack into the 1/4s.
He has a 9/9 in hand, which he would really like to put in play.
He would really love to put in play, but I don't think that's happening for a while, especially if he continues to fail to draw lands.
No.
Yeah, so I guess I'm really just
he's
setting
got
up for the
better
for a future
shot down
turn there. You know,
before
run out my
Oh, yeah.
Just keep trying to recur it.
Yeah,
What
because
are they
then
called?
you'll pick up
Rages?
something with Glassworks, or even
Yep.
though you like the game is so slow, he's on a lower life total than you.
Yeah.
Just play the 5 mana side.
Some options.
There's the Glimmerlight.
You'd be
Okay.
fine.
Make
Okay.
a 1/1.
So Glimmerlight could potentially
Can't find
throw
it.
a bit of power around, right? He could whack it on the dog here, and then I don't have an
So the
amazing
board's
block.
getting gummed up.
Yeah, it's not quite how Damon wants things to
Yeah.
be. It's progressing because he's not really making inroads. He's just kind of setting up for future.
And
No, but
then
he does get
take
his 4
4.
and asks Sam
Or I
what
could
he'd like
trade
to do
off the
about that.
Gremlin.
Surveil alone.
I'm probably checking my hand here for any more creatures, because I don't actually have that many
And-
more that'll trigger the Gremlin.
4/2's a little bit of an awkward stat line for Sam's board because
So, like, I don't
if he wants to double block,
I don't love
the
taking...
Rager,
Well, like, I don't mind taking 4 here, but am I going to take 4 next turn?
That card is called, but he's sort of exposing himself. To
Am
a
I just going to
trick.
need to make this trade at some point?
He's either got to chump it or just cop the 4. And I don't know how Sam feels, how confident he feels about his ability to race. Or he trades it for the Gremlin, but the Gremlin.
Or
it-
I could take
sort of
4
like-
and then Glassworks it.
It's really threatening to gain him a lot of value in terms of good cards that aren't lands.
But as I'm looking at it now, I think just put the Gremlin in front of it. That's fine. Save the
That's true,
Glassworks
like,
for something
and you
that
could argue it's
matters.
paid for it.
But I do want to get the Glassworks down, because it
Maybe he
turns on the
puts
Soul
away,
Rages.
gives him the Surveil.
So there's a lot to think
You know,
about
maybe
here.
you could
And I
argue
do have a
that
fair bit of
fires up
removal
another
in the
one
deck
of,
that can deal with anything
James
scary that he might
Harrison's to
play.
equip the
Oh, that's true.
Light.
Yeah, I think one of Sam's big considerations is he doesn't want Damon to spell, and he doesn't want... You never want to trade for an equipped creature.
Takes the 4. Okay,
Okay.
so Sam on 10, Damon on 9,
And by
and
playing out his cheerleader, which, if he can enable it, is going to be pretty relevant.
Another cheerleader. Okay.
pretty relevant. I mean, Sam's got the Flying Vigilance creature,
Yeah.
so maybe not tremendously relevant. There's the land.
So he's down to the land and the big sack guy and the glasswork.
So from memory, I think this was another spot where I'm
Glassworks,
thinking,
again,
am I
is
supposed to just
not
run out the 5 mana
doing a
side of
lot,
Glassworks?
Whereas the sack guy can handle.
I could
the
certainly see
cheerleader.
that being the
Even
case.
cheerleader
It gets
is
you a
attacking anyway,
nice
so
little attack for 2 in the air.
maybe scraps the equipment
3
so he can
damage,
attack
puts
the
him to
cheerleader,
6.
But he still just bounces off.
Not nothing.
1/4, or he puts.
And then I
remove
can
something the following
1/4,
turn.
That's it, and then the next turn I can unlock it.
This is classic.
Because I don't. If I play the Glassworks here, I don't have anything else I can play from hand. So if I just
Yeah.
spend the 5 mana now,
Like, you don't really want
it seems like a bit of an irrelevant play, but I'm also just not under any pressure.
Really
Like,
want to play the sack guy when
you know, the dog is really it. I can just put the Gremlin in front of it at any point.
It might just be play the ping side of the glassworks and just waste time.
Oh, Richard,
Yeah,
he's so
100%.
good.
And Sam did it in previous games.
He's the best.
So, or
Yep.
at least previous game.
Yeah, good observation
head
from you.
goes
that-
into the hand.
It just, I think I'm actually saying to Damon here, like, this feels so wrong to just spend 5 mana to deal you a damage, you know?
Yeah, because if Sam doesn't put a
But
reasonable
it's-
cock on Damon, then he does.
It's
have
kind
to
of just
start
an
trading
investment.
the dog
It's
and
saying next turn I'm just going to
get the-
explode damage.
It gets a little less.
because I will remove your best
If I
thing,
was Sam,
turn on both
I
Soul
would-
Rages, and just
I would be
throw a
really
monstrous
tempted
attack at you.
to
Yeah. So
play
yeah, very true.
The ping side. Get that first room.
But just every part of my magic brain is saying, don't spend
just
5
attacking
mana
the
doing
M2.
nothing.
Get him down to what? That's 3 damage for the turn. So get him down to 6. Open the other room, remove a blocker, and then
Adrian's got it.
go a little crazy because he's got a menace creature still. You know,
He'd have some 4/4 Soul Rages.
he would have some 4/4 Soul Rage, and his board's a little troublesome.
And then I'm also just trying to think through, like,
Then he
is
doesn't
there
know
something
if
scary
Sam
that Damon can do?
really
What can he
have
do
a
with these
high
colors? I
quality
don't know his
background
deck
on
really.
How much removal does Damon have?
You know, is there a
So
big trample
why not
trick or
find
something I
out?
need to be
Think we've never
concerned
seen a
about?
ping.
I mean, one of the other things is
No, okay.
the
sure.
one thing Sam knows about Damon's deck is that it's weird. So
True.
he's probably thinking there's something weird that might happen to me if I let the game go on. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
We called it. So he plays the ping side. Triggers on the flyer, gets him for 2, puts him to 7, and then 6 at the end of the turn.
A very
Quality commentary.
simple, reasonable clock.
Actually remembered my
Just
trigger. Very
apparently,
impressive.
Sam
Explaining
came in and mentioned that he did
The
forget a lot
game
of those
state.
triggers
That's my
last
best.
time. So
I'm the
we're gonna
best
be
at it.
on the trigger police today.
Yeah,
So would really love to know what Damon drew here.
I think it was just a planes.
So crucially, Sam is representing the quench. So
Oh, that's true. And
I-
Damon's seen it.
he's seen the quench. He knows the quench is real.
Yeah, yeah.
I really wondered to what extent Damon plays around it, or to what extent.
Now, I wonder if the
matters.
amount that I went into the tank there
There's a lot of things.
will signal to Damon that I don't actually have it. Because if I can make a clean 5-mana play, hold up counterspell.
Wow, so true.
You know, you probably just do it. Although, you know, maybe I'm thinking about, do I need to remove these creatures? So this is like what I love about these high stakes events and playing against players as good as Chris, Yoan, and Damon,
So I do
which
believe,
honestly it might be the 3 most threatening players in the room, and I had to get through all 3 of them. Playing against players of this caliber, like, you start to get into, I'm going to represent this, but do you actually think that I have it? What's the calculations that you would have done to determine whether I've got it or not? Is it worth, like, the levels that you can start to go down get so interesting.
Also, this is just kind of underscoring.
Yeah. If
there's
4 players at regular Monday Night Draft that I feel like are just on another level, it's yourself, Chris, Yoan, and Damon. I think you guys are very, very hard to beat, and it feels like you guys get to draw 9 cards for your opening hand, and I get to draw 5. That's what it feels like. It feels like you have some sort of unfair advantage.
I'm with you. Yep, every time I play against the other 3 guys that you mentioned, there's just something there that I don't have. Okay, the machete. I don't think we care about the machete. I'm very okay
Now,
with
I wonder if we can have a view of
get ready for the Richard and Adrian don't understand machete show.
this is great.
We read it so wrong. We think it gives like menace and stuff, but it super doesn't.
So that creature's a 4/3 now. So it seems like a pretty clean one to pick off with the Glassworks, and then I can just probably turn everything sideways.
If Teddy dies next turn, then that really helps Damon hit his 7th land drop. I don't know how relevant Altenac is.
Is there an
in this game,
attack? Oh no, okay, put the...
He's already
Equipping
attacked.
the Glimmer Light on the Acrobat.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
Yeah, you attacked the dog into your tutu.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
We're gonna see him pass the turn. Once again, representing
Of course,
the
yeah, he
white
couldn't have the equipment on 2 different creatures.
which I respect.
Yes.
I think that's quite clever. Would like to know what Sam draws here. The big dinosaur.
The Megalodon.
So I can...
Now,
So what's annoying here is I still don't have the mana to do 2 things.
really good shot of Sam's.
Yeah.
So I can...
And
I can unlock...
If he had a land there, he could go Glassworks Guy
Yeah.
for a sneaky 2 damage to the face if you block wrong.
Yeah, but if I put Damon
A little bit
to
of extra.
even
Now we can
3
only do
here,
one thing this turn.
then
Now he has to choose.
The
Play Mega
the
Ball
Arseworks will deal 1 damage on end step, and then next turn my Ripper will kill him.
2 damage, or
So if I unlock
play the guy and maybe remove.
if I unlock Glassworks, kill the 4/3, this is the calculation I'm doing right now, then the Apparition is a 2 power, that puts him to 7, attack with 2 4 power creatures.
Block on the 4/4 Soul Rager.
It seems pretty good and unlikely that I die on the crackback.
Remake.
So Sam's thinking through the lines, using the hand, pointing at cards.
Because he probably like puts Acrobat and Teddy on one of the Soul
Probably thinking a lot
Rages,
about whether making his Soul Rages 4/4s.
and then maybe just take 4 off the other one, at which point I've got
He's probably
lethal
thinking, like,
with the
can I
Ripper
just
next
wait
turn.
another Do I just like, put down the real big beast and make Damon's life even harder?
And that's it. You're talking through the other line here, is I just play the
Or
shark,
do I-
and
do I-
then
do I
wait
go
till
for a
next
more
turn.
aggressive line? And I think he's going for it. So
Yeah, I
I'll
think I can
close it out.
basically close it out here.
Damon gives a deft look.
Ooh.
That was the flyer.
Big flyer.
It could have been a 6-power flyer.
Wow, that was a
So
that was a good
did sound
a
like it
good
was
turn of
eerie.
events.
So each of those Soul Rages is lethal this turn. So Damon's gotta do something about them, and he doesn't have great blocks.
I wonder if the life totals are a little bit off what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they
he's
probably
got
are.
4 toughness in, so he's got 5 toughness in front of that.
So that one's a good one. He's kind of wishing he had the Glimmerlight on the Teddy, because Sam's like priced in to kill whatever has the Glimmerlight on it.
Yeah, and also to not kill the Teddy. But then again,
So I guess Damon's probably on 5 here if that life total is
Maybe Sam gets a
incorrect.
4-drop.
I reckon my
Because then he can't take 4 because of the
Or
Yeah.
the
You can't go
Arseworks
to 1.
trigger.
he's
Yeah.
about to take. Oh no, Sam would be able to put him to 1 if he drew a land this turn.
true.
Damon's trying to think a way through, like, can I leave anything
I'm quite
alive
up to that, but
that's
he's got a
actually
flying,
threatening?
which is 1 power.
Are you thinking
I
about
think
killing the
he'll
bear to
find-
rip the land to play the guy?
Anyway, didn't attack with the.
That's an interesting question. I don't think I
he's trying to
am.
keep that back on sack duty.
Probably because I
Also,
didn't
not
realize
bad if
it.
Damon does something.
Because then I think
Damon
you
does have a lot
win.
of equipment hanging around the joint.
If
still
Damon's actually on
figuring out
5,
how he
yeah,
wants
you're
to
right.
block, what he
You're
wants to
right.
block with.
But then again, you're putting a lot of faith in the top card of your library and also
Chumps
giving
and
That's it,
Sam
and-
gives the
Damon an
acrobat.
extra card.
And I just want to reduce the chance that Damon can do anything threatening, because I can just win next turn, right? Like, there's no rush. I think I just need to make sure I don't die here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have we forgotten that the gym token dies?
oh,
Oh,
Sam.
Sam remembers.
Yeah, we thought that was Jim the whole time. We didn't know it was
No
Mark
plan.
Dickinson.
Nice. No, that is a mark token.
2 creatures for Damon. A lot of equipment on deck. And by a lot, I mean 2, but...
Oh, no, it's
So
not.
yeah,
I think. Oh, it's the chandelier.
if I hadn't killed the face down, he would have flipped it up and dealt me
No alternate
6.
No alternate this
Like if I just played the shark
okay, he's got the twins.
and
so
tried to go
it's
for a big
about
attack
spread.
next turn, I would have taken
Sam
6
gets
from the
to-
flyer.
Yes,
Probably
Sam gets
can't
to
kill him, and if I don't have
represent
removal
his
from the flyer, I die.
deftly.
So if I hadn't killed that, I think I actually would have lost.
The state of
Wow.
the graveyard. I'm not sure. how
Not to say it's over right now, but it looks very good because I can just
Yeah. I would like.
Okay, so this looks like a correct life total now.
But
well, we'll find
Okay,
out
plays
once
out
it's
more
featured.
2 power idiots.
Could be getting in for 5 vigilance.
So unless he's got life gain of some kind,
Eerie next turn. That buys Damon another turn.
I think I've got this.
thinking of
Play the
equipment.
Ripper, deal 2, go to end
Where's it
step,
going?
Glassworks deals
Yep.
the last one.
What's it there?
Damon's trying to size up an attack here.
Damon is on 3 though.
He's really struggled to kind of engage with what this game's been about so far.
That's true. And as the game stands, if Damon can't get rid of the flyer, he dies.
Yes, he doesn't know that he's guaranteed to die, but it's
Yeah, actually, from
Bingo.
Damon's perspective,
Not
if I just play an
no
enchantment,
delirium.
Damon's
Just
dead.
chumps it. Oh, gets it in the mix.
He has not been sold on the hexproof trick.
He's not been sold at all, so bounces off.
Yeah, we
Next
were
to
putting
the
Damon on the
maybe
hexproof
let
track.
him kill his 4/6.
Is there a 1 white hexproof trick?
You don't have it.
Single white
Yeah,
hexproof
yeah,
trick? What is it?
Yeah, it's the aura that gives it hexproof until ETB, but hangs around for
Sam's probably
1/1.
feeling maybe a touch nervous, but also pretty fine. Gets him for 1.
Damon feels great because it didn't get the +1, and then Damon feels sad.
For nothing. That's
Wraps it
gonna...
up.
And some music for Sam at a volume that is far beyond everything else
Just
in
a
the
pretty
stream.
steady game
And we're
plan,
not going to
team.
correct that. You
Put
all
the
have to deal with
threats
that.
down, activated them,
Textbook.
drew cards, put down blockers.
Ooh,
sort of
up game
nullified
1 in
a
the
lot of
final,
damage in the
Sam.
board state.
Okay, 1 game away.
And
1 game away
Damon
from.
was playing,
I think the prize
3-2s
pool for first was
do ones and
somewhere between
those
1,000 and
hefty.
1,200 worth of stuff.
Those
Yeah, you get like
1-4
4
3-drops
boxes of,
just kind of line up
like
really well
magic
against
across the
enemies.
air, so you
Yeah.
technically
Even
don't have to
even
buy boxes to
letting him
draft
trade off
with.
his
It's
team.
pretty
Yeah, I think-
exciting.
Not
Yeah,
even-
the
not
biggest
even
part of
in
first
the
prize was
delirium.
you get
No
a
delirium,
box to
no
draft
nothing.
with for the rest of
So-
for all of next year.
Yeah, I mean, talking about
So
this
you get
format
you get a
being
box to
different
draft
reasons,
each set.
blocking is so good,
And
and
then there were some other things as well.
board stalls.
100%.
So
Especially
that's the big prize. Honestly, we're mostly playing for glory, but
cards, they get
prizes are
their
nice as
value
well.
from going into combat. If you don't have a way to get those creatures tapped in the post
You
combat,
can't sell glory on eBay.
And-
That's all I gotta say.
You know, it can be really.
I wouldn't do it.
Sam's lighting getting a little better.
You couldn't if you wanted to.
We're back to lighting chat.
Having a little chat.
It was my favorite. I have nothing to talk about crutch.
There's a lot of excitement about this one.
Fun fact for anyone who is out there and interested in doing like live content creation, a great little comedy thing you can do is pick something in the background
Just get a spot
or
something.
something innocuous about how people are acting or behaving and talk about it. Because if you can get good at picking out things that people usually miss, like the 50 Among
I think one
Uses
of the first things to come out
on the
for me
whiteboard
would
in the
be
back,
some of my rituals
you've just
as well.
got this nice little, thing of nice little few minutes of entertainment at arm's reach at any point.
Yeah, I would have gone for that one. It would have been,
You don't really
you know,
want to
let's get a rating out of 10 for each of the Among Us sketches at the back.
Unwanted remake.
I mean, yeah, like the valid strategy, but yeah,
True.
good,
Yeah, 100%.
good thing to get into the mood
I
for.
think-
Just like look around.
I don't
See what you can
know
talk about.
So Damon just said to me,
deck, but
I'm
didn't see
boarding out the 2 best cards in
much
my
of it
deck
removable.
and bringing in
And
2 very
Chance
bad
just
cards.
boards out some of his low power creatures after
Can you
seeing
trust
1-3
him, though?
and 1-4 and
yeah.
Look, I've made a bit of a habit of playing mind games with Damon.
Just get pushing in, getting slightly bigger.
Like we had like many drafts in a row where during OTJ where I would lead with Forest Island and say, this is for my Bonnie Paul.
Damon is a lot more favored on the play.
And then I'd spend the rest of the game talking about, oh, what do you do here if I'm going to play Bonnie Paul next turn? He spends a removal spell. I'm like, oh, that could have hit the Bonnie Paul.
Staring into his eyes.
And then I do play the Bonnie Paul, and I did it like 3 drafts in a row.
Sam had Bonnie Paul at such a frequent rate, it was kind of obscene.
Which was how I qualified for this
That's
event,
what I would
actually.
be doing.
Was
I would just
I
like-
was-
You
in the
have
top.
Bonnie Paul to thank.
Yeah. So the way that the qualification for this this final works is at Chromatic Games.
If Damon had anything
We
against his
run
deck, he can't
a
really
year-long
play.
draft league. And
I also
in
believe
the process of
also
qualifying
this
for
is
this
in
one, we
the
had
same
308
rotation
different
as
players
belief, man.
Oh, yes.
enter
Well,
the
at
league.
least it's not on the
308.
black playmat.
It's very impressive.
If you want to compare that to
Sam's
your
side of the table
local
is very dark.
local drafts, at other game stores I've been to, it's you get 5 people show up and then you're all frantically calling your mates trying to get a 6th person together so you can fire a draft. We have 3 to 4 draft pods most weeks,
And
which is just
Damon's going
insane.
3-4 this time.
And then so we run this.
and an oddity, I think, almost
yeah.
worldwide.
Like I've never seen a store that has a limited
He
community like
slides in
this.
from the right, whereas
Um,
Damon picks them up individually.
and then
I feel
we
like
keep track of the
there-
accumulated points
there
over
must
the
be
course
less
of each
10
season.
times in these players' lives that they've drawn a
And the
card
top
at
2
bargain
players
level.
in each of the 4 sets in a year
It's such
get a seat at the
such an
table.
embedded fear.
I agree. This looks
It's really a very cool system, and hilariously enough, it was happening in the background while Sam and I were drafting at our local store for years.
Yeah.
We had no idea this thing had sort of existed.
Well, like I'd heard about this group. I'd heard about this crew that
And
that played at Chromatic, and I knew they took their draft
Sharks,
seriously. I knew they were good players.
Very reasonable.
I almost didn't bother rocking up to limited RCQs because they were won by the Magic Mates guys. You know, like I think I'm an okay limited player, but I was just not on the same league as these guys. And so yeah, in the end, our local store just kind of went sideways a little bit, and we didn't really want to be there anymore. And our entire group moved en masse over to join the Magic Mates, and we've never looked back. It's been such
it's like a dreamland.
Yeah, and we get new players come on in, people who love their draft but couldn't find a store to play it at, and they're like, "What the hell is this? This is like draft utopia here."
Yeah. It's very impressive when you think about it. We went from having a
crashes in on this one, and
go on.
I was going to say, over the years, the group has moved from store to store. So, you know, they were at a store in Bondi Junction, I think, at one point, and that store couldn't host them anymore. And so just this entire massive group just picked up and moved to the next store. And they're able to go to, you know, whoever runs the store and say, "Hey, we want to run our drafts in this way, and we're going to bring this many people in if you can accommodate the way that we want to do it."
Got a bit of weight to throw around.
Yeah. And so, like, massive shout out to Andy, who runs Chromatic, because he puts so much support behind the way our league works and us running our big draft nights. And he threw a bunch of the prizes into our prize pool for tonight. So big shout out to Andy. Chromatic Games in Asheville. Come on down if you want to join us for some drafts.
Yeah, 100%. As I was saying, like, yeah, we went from a store where we would, you know, really, we would either have a draft crew, which was all just, basically a little group of friends that we could reliably get 8 people together and do like an 8-person draft, and that would be the only draft table in the store. And if anyone was away, it was always like a nightmare, or someone couldn't make it. The draft just wouldn't fire. And meanwhile, we just like go a few suburbs over, and there's a store where they have like 4 pods.
Yeah.
Sometimes more if it's a new set. So
it's just
It's got such an anemic clock, you can't really.
Pretty cool stuff.
Oh, there's Alex.
Oh, just eating some chips in the background, Chris. Very nice.
Love it. So interestingly, the way I got coaxed to come along was I met Damon. Okay, Glassworks, take out the... We should probably talk about the game that's happening. I was at an RCQ, and I was playing Niv. It was actually the very first RCQ. And I was playing Pioneer Niv, and no one else in the room was. And Damon saw the deck that I was playing. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And so we got talking, and I said, like, I'm normally a drafter. I just play silly decks in Constructed. He says, "Oh, you're a drafter," and he gets into telling me about the Magic Mates and what they do at Chromatic. And I had another mate of mine speak very highly of Damon just as a guy, and he said the guys there are so accommodating. It's a really good crowd. And so we went, and he was right. Like, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be super spiky and people are going to take it super hardcore, and it's just not. Like, just good drafters there, but all such good people. Like,
100%.
Damon, Yoan, like everyone at this table I've hung out with outside of Magic events by now. You know, like, they're actually just my mates. It's just such good people.
100% agreed. I remember this one day where like Sam and a bunch of other people from our old stores sort of like, you know, draft group chat were like, "Hey, we're gonna Chromatic Games. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bit of a drive away. It's not like a quick trip on the train like it used to be." I was like, "All right, I'll do the 20-minute drive to this out of town, like sort of like, you know, pretty far away as far as I was concerned for a like Monday night draft." But then I was treated to a completely packed store, which was pretty exciting to see compared to what we were facing with at our store. So go if you're in Sydney and you like draft, Chromatic Games at Ashfield. It's a good time. Monday night.
So this is me asking the judge if the acrobat gets a flying counter after it attacks, and then I make it a toy, Does it still have flying?
So if you've got the counter after you...
I can never remember this stuff.
And Damon obviously knows exactly what I'm asking
my
about.
memory
Like, that's
from,
kind of the only rules question I could have at this point.
is
My intuition was that surely it would have flying. It's got a flying counter on it.
Okay.
The answer to that question was no. It loses flying.
Because they happen on later.
The counter grants a keyword, and then the thing that comes later takes it away.
Is it a timestamp?
I think it's a timestamps thing.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that would incentivize him to unable to scream now, but
Okay, just goes for the unlock. Maybe just sort of like saying, I can take the damage. Let's draw a 4/4.
yeah, I mean 4 damage a turn is not crazy.
Go Adrian.
That's true.
It's
As
funny
far
that
as
we talk
being
about like
draw,
the Magic
it's not
Mates and
dying.
all of the sort of surrounding,
Manifesting Dread
you know,
with the
anecdotes.
namesake.
I remember hearing on the grapevine as I was sort of like drafting, like I'd drafted some of the stores in the city off of the. He almost puts it down the wrong way.
Love it. I don't think I saw what it was.
I remember hearing on the grapevine that I was like, oh yeah, if you're really into your draft, Bondi Junction, they're very serious over there.
Mm.
And I remember being a little bit intimidated by it. I was like, oh, okay, we'll stay away from from Bondi Junction.
Yeah.
And I guess little did I know, like years later, I find out it's like, oh, that was the Magic Mates, because I think that's at one of the stores I used to play
Sam
at.
would really love to draw not a lot.
So
I would just like to
fun
point
facts.
out that at the pre-release, I needed a little flying counter, and so I tore off a bit from my notepad and wrote fly on it, and then just kept it in my dice container, and I got to place that on Damon's creature.
That's great. Fly.
Fly. It flies.
Face down.
So now, last time was pretty interesting getting back to this game, because I just spent 5 mana playing the Arseworks. That's not a great use of my mana.
Right.
By the looks of it, it's because my choices were play Unable to Scream and use one of my 5 mana.
Removing 2 power from the board, but he does now know
Or...
he can scream.
Yeah, it just didn't seem amazing, so I just made the use of my mana, just got it
I
out.
wouldn't be surprised if we.
And then now I can play the Shark.
Oh, okay.
And that should,
Interesting spread of the lands.
That should hold the ground off. The flyer will continue to fly. Oh, is that Boiler Bilges that I've got, though? Because I could play that, sack the enchantment.
Ah, so he is going for it.
That is unable to scream.
Okay, so we turn that off, and then I could play the Ripper.
Probably plays out the Gremlin.
Play the Ripper, sack the Glassworks, kill the face down.
I think
This
he's
is me
getting
explaining the rules thing that I just learnt to Damon.
So that's not Boiler Biggles. But
Oh, is
you do
that
have the
Gremlin?
Shark?
So at the moment, this would be a.
Yeah.
So it's Gremlin, my other card there.
1/3 with flying.
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's the judge actually just double checking that ruling. Chris is checking it as well.
Plays
And
Gremlin and
my face there is saying, Judge, I'm going to murder you if you gave me the wrong ruling. And I just made the play based on that.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Which, to be clear, does happen very, very rarely. And you should be nice to the judges still.
No, I think that's the Seize from Slumber. So 5 mana instant. But, I mean, Damon can
Okay.
just send in here. Sam can't really block with the
So
Gremlin,
then-
he just loses it to the floor.
Damon's got a 1-3,
Not that he.
a
knows.
2-2, and a 1-1.
Not that he knows that. At least we don't know if he knows it or not. Does Damon know?
He does.
So I don't know what
I
that
think
face
Damon
down
knows
is.
he knows it.
I know it got accidentally revealed, but I don't know what it is.
This is not the...
So, I was a little bit
this is not the
hesitant.
format for the
Through this whole match, I was hesitant to
That's true.
use my really good removal, like the Swords to Toy Shares, on something like on one of his derpy 2s. Like I wanted to save it for the big angel, you know? So there's a chance that that face down is the angel, and that would really suck for me.
Oh, it's the twins.
True,
Okay,
true.
okay.
So these are all pretty...
Okay, Damon's entered
Twins are
Darkland.
great here. I think Sam's gonna be gonna find it hard to.
Let's
keep
make it
up
darker.
with, all the blockers.
Oh, okay, removal spell.
Damon's looking quite in the lead here.
There we go.
2
Removals,
removal
so we've
spells.
got
Okay, we got some removal.
And the big flyer. Okay, that's a
screen,
terrifying
going into
hand.
combat with the face down.
Oh, it looks like the Furia doesn't have flying.
What a-
Sam
What a
looks at the
baller
shark.
move.
He's like, man, I wish I was blocking.
Ah.
So this is me trying to remember, what did he show
Here's
me?
a question. Did you remember the Glassworks trigger?
I don't think it's a creature. I remember like
That's a good
you
point.
could watching this now
And-
go back to the frame or two where he flips it up.
We obviously don't have accurate.
I think
live
he's
totals
I think
either,
he's just
but
like he just wants to trade it away.
just look at the battle of minds occurring.
Get him for 2.
I think Sam's having an internal struggle.
What I don't think he's either really putting on a great act and going what's under that. Like I don't know what's under the
what
manifest.
could it be?
What could it be?
Oh, yeah, we
Really
think you've
thinking
seen
what could
it.
be. What are you representing with
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
it? Block?
I block.
So
Because
we
I
didn't
didn't
see
see anything with more than 2 power, except for the angel,
You could
which he
also
can't
be
flip
saying,
at this point.
You know, maybe you've got a sick 5-drop. I don't want you playing instead.
Interesting.
Or maybe I want you to be scared.
Oh, it is a creature. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It is.
Wow. Okay.
I remembered wrong.
This is very much more green-white speed. You know, setting the terms of engagement.
Okay, so that's
Sam
not
hasn't had time to-
great for me, but Shark in theory, okay, 3 lands in hand, not ideal, but Shark in theory holds down the fort here. except for the
Shark
fact
in
that-
theory does
Sam
if
has
you
one
don't know how much removal he's got in hand.
No
Yep.
way around it.
Just gotta play it.
Yeah, he looks at it, goes, "Can I get how much ward does it have?" Oh, none. Okay,
Oh, no.
good.
And unfortunately, Damon is going to absolutely.
Does it have, like, ward you lose the game? Oh, nope. That's fine.
Which of my multiple removal spells should I use? Or should I even bother?
Oh, should I even
Should I even
bother?
bother?
Bother, he says.
But no, I get.
Isn't that the
strong
best feeling in
that
Magic
that
when you
shark's,
can say,
getting trapped in
I've
the
got
cave
3
in.
removal spells I could use here, and I don't even need to bother.
Or not.
Yeah, yeah.
1 single green. That's 3 mana. That looks like a screen. Oh,
Oh, he wants to use the more expensive removal spell.
Yeah, just make better use of his mana here. Bye-bye, Shark. I knew he had it. Yeah, I didn't waste any time.
and in we go.
And I take 1, 2, 6.
Ooh,
damage.
not looking phenomenal.
Don't
It's a
know
little,
how low Sam is now. There
It's
we
got
go.
6 power. You got none.
12.
What are we
Non-land?
drawing?
Okay, the Meat Locker's good. And I can
Meat
actually
Locker
do
is
both
good.
here. I can draw cards and then lock something down.
But I don't think it's in his.
So that's one of the best cards I could have drawn there, actually.
So
Oh, yeah.
gotta play that 7th lands.
Yeah, good point.
What are you gonna
So
play
we start
there?
with the Dino, right? We see what we draw. And if I don't draw anything relevant, I can just Meat Locker something.
Think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't even need to play the lands just yet. I can see what I draw, because I think I've got one of each in hand.
The ping, because
Yeah, you've got a
the
mountain
room's
on-
kind of like
on
it's,
an
he just
island.
put it really out of the way. He hasn't put it in the middle.
You're right, I think I've missed multiple Arseworks triggers.
I would've
We
forgotten for
are unlocking.
Draw cards. I do like draw cards.
Meat Locker.
I think that's the point where I noticed I'd missed a bunch of triggers.
Land.
Yeah,
No,
it's
all
a
gas.
point where we
He
noticed it
would've
as well.
loved that on the turn before he played Shark.
Okay, Apparition.
Removal spell and a draw 3.
Big
exactly how we
agree.
liked it.
So drops the land.
Another room. I can't quite see which
How
one
much
it is.
the tap down side.
Okay, and then we'll just lock down the
Keep that tap
4/4.
down.
He's trading water.
The hurt is.
Deal you
coming
one.
down,
We
but it's
remembered.
not- it's not
You remembered.
So that was about the best draw possible, and I did draw 3 spells.
Same with
So
land, he gets a 4/5 flyer.
this is how I start to come back. Damon's still got a handful of gas, though.
Okay, so a little awkward for.
Oh, yeah, he just
dropped-
Probably just play
2
with-
6-drops in
Flyers
hand,
on
though?
you.
Yeah, it's just solid.
So it's a little awkward for
doubt
him. Like, he can
try
only
to
play
go
the machete
for-
here. I guess he could cycle one of them
Ah, true.
and then have a 6-drop for next turn. But if I were him, I wouldn't even bother. Because if you draw a land, great. Draw a non-land, great.
None at all. You can move the Glimmerlight.
Yeah, 100% right. I think
You can move
Damon's in a
something,
fine position.
Worth noting, my brain was still scrambled eggs after that match with Yoan. I grabbed myself a Pepsi to try to wake up old
Pretty
sleepyhead.
straightforward Puts Sam to 4. Puts a 4-power creature into play.
It's something I've really actually really struggled with as I've
Stuff to keep trading water.
been playing a bit more
Sam's
competitive
got
lately.
3
Is
spells
I
in hand now.
I get so into my games that I really start to like feel the mental stress of it.
Room. I think I see.
And it,
Yeah,
over,
right.
over a long day, like this was only 3 rounds and I got pretty brain dead. But like over the course of like an 8 or 9 round RC, it gets real tough sometimes.
Die that quickly. If you can deal with this manifest.
Thought about casting the machete. Thought against it.
Untaps the land. Sam, fist on the table.
I mean, Damon's got to have some consideration.
Good
to,
observation.
Is there a red sweep?
So observant.
Can things get a little crazy from here?
True. Yeah, he's wondering like, oh, do I get totally owned by Pyroclasm?
Wow, wish I had Pyroclasm in my sideboard. Would have been great against
What happens if people? Yeah,
Chris,
like,
Yohan, and Damon. Would have been so good against Damon.
We're manifesting dread.
Oh.
There goes
Vehicle?
Damon's
Is that the
thoughts on
twins?
So the vehicle and
No,
Oh, no,
that's
that's
the
the-
mushroom.
No, sorry, it's the
So unfortunately, the vehicle going away forever.
Yep.
Oh,
Just
right,
depending on where you
okay.
Put it
Not even a recurable card type.
in the bin.
Yeah. Come on, move things over a little bit. We can't see them
Wouldn't be
properly.
surprised if Damon now has.
Attacks for 2, puts me to 4.
And
Where's the Glimmerlight going to go?
Damon's shaking as well. He's feeling the moment.
yeah, two.
I found that Damon's a bit of a shaker.
Is he?
Yeah, I watching the coverage, he's often shaken.
All right, because I've never noticed it on him in person.
But
He's very deliberate with everything that he does, but I've never really seen him be
I guess the other
nervous.
consideration Damon had was whether he wanted to
Oh.
one of those play the land and then do the equipment.
okay, so an unable to scream for Sam, which
That's
is
pretty good.
wrong.
And then I've also got Apparition. Yeah, that's great. Just hold your cards away from the camera.
Could be meeting in the coming turns.
Although the funny
What's
thing
what's
is,
that other room that I've got?
the only good target for it is already stunned.
This is true. Yeah, like he's.
Oh, it's got to be the
Man,
surveil. It's got to be the surveil and the diner.
creature
Oh,
already
underground
unable
pool.
to attack.
And I think he's got a bounce spell.
No,
he's
no,
saying
no,
it's
that's-
also
that's the
not
bounce one.
coming
We've never
back,
made
but
that
might be
confusion
going into
before.
Damon's hand anyway.
That's true. No,
What's
he
the other
did
one
this
called then?
Underground tunnel?
Oh, there's underground tunnel and bottomless pool. Okay,
That's right, yeah. The way I actually
Totally.
remember it now is because we drafted like 3 bottomless pools and then got to make bottomless
Importantly,
jokes
Sam gets to
all.
know about it.
Ah,
video.
yep,
Sam does get to
yep.
know
That's a great video. That's a fantastic video.
Best of this set?
So, a lot of thinking.
Yeah,
Right.
easily.
Probably,
Not that we got to
Yeah.
the chance
So
to
there's
record
Unable to
many.
Scream, there's the bounce room.
Is that the bounce room or is that the surveil 2 room?
Good question, Adrian.
No one ever knows.
No one knows. Those cards are the
Like
same.
it, like the
So 4 mana.
So that's
We're gonna manifest dread. Make a 3/3,
I'm gonna manifest a 3/3.
which can block the 4/3.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
might have
think
been a
that's the 3
peeper.
mana 3/2.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I think I saw 2 blue mana symbols.
That's quite a cinematic shot.
Just, yeah.
It's got a camera.
You never got quite as well. That's a pretty good
Hand
camera.
trap as well.
Oh.
The hand cam.
And the bear trap.
And what's the 3 mana? card?
So we could bear
Probably
trap
1/3 flyer if I had to guess.
the 4/3.
So the bear trap's
Oh,
actually
you
pretty
want to do
good
that
against
now though, just in case there's something big under there.
Manifest Dread. And it's actually important that Damon hadn't moved the Glimmerlight over to it because he could have gotten it up.
Although maybe I can.
What was the thing to get him that final land?
Maybe I can get him to move his equipment in
Right.
awkward ways.
Unable to slam.
Because if I
a
just
big
pick
fat
off
threat
the
this
4/3
turn.
now, he could just move the equipment over and make my life difficult. Whereas if he attacks,
Yeah.
I can possibly make things happen nicely in
What
combat.
would be lethal. And even if Sam has a removal spell, he's putting Sam down to 2. And I think that's what he's going to
Okay, we don't care about that.
And just say, you know, I
Does
won't
crucially give him his
It's
6th
not a
land
creature
though,
in play
so
that I have to remove.
the big boys are coming down.
Not that I know it. I mean, I assume he's just going to go get that island for whatever his blue card is. I haven't seen any blue card from him yet.
Is that
No,
what I
but then he
think?
shows you
I wouldn't be surprised
Forest.
if he still goes for it. Show us Island, Damon. Or does he want to play that double green trample threat? You probably want to play that.
Nah, you're just
Mm.
Okay.
Wow, just
Against
gets a
the
forest. I'm thinking, okay, did he board out the blue card, whatever it was?
Forest is in
Ah.
hand. It's in play.
Do you know what the blue spell in Damon's deck is?
It's Zamone.
Oh, right, of course.
So Damon to himself.
Now,
Where
again,
do you
this
want it? Where do you want it? Where do you want it? Oh, over there? Okay, I'll take it over and I'll put it over
In
here.
this game.
that was me making real sure he didn't put his deck on top of that face
Think
down.
of
Oh,
Because it looks like the bottom card of your deck, right?
Glory.
it does a little bit.
You also have the possibility of you just swing with the Menace guy, and then Sam has to have something. And then once you've seen that, you can make a more informed choice.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
It says something about how intense these events are that
If he knew the
Damon, who has
same
made day 2 of
oh,
multiple
he
Pro
went for
Tours,
it.
is
He
feeling the
went for it.
nerves here.
Probably still worth it, yeah.
100%. Oop. Take the
Oh,
3/3.
In the screen.
Get the blocker out of the
Rare
way.
experience, an instant or sorcery exiled by trapped in the screen.
Okay, nothing I
that's
can do
fun.
about that. You can have my instant.
It's the tuck. It's the tuck spell.
So I think we're gonna get a ruling from the judge on what happens when trapped in the screen gets removed. And it's
Yeah, this is me asking the judge, what happens if I remove the trapped in the screen?
That's a really good question.
I think it just stays in exile.
It does, yeah. Ooh. Monumental boom
chuckle
of
from the
thunder
table.
over here in the present.
Oh.
So,
I hope we got that on the
Sam
microphone.
assumedly dead to rats.
From what we can see.
Oh, the clan's coming down for a lethal attack.
And they come.
Fear
I'm
of
gonna
Isolation is be
I'm
on
gonna
tap
pop
end.
your 4/3.
Oh,
Ooh, it did have more
nice.
toughness under there. No, sorry, same
There's
amount,
the,
same amount.
Had more power on there at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So I take 2 down to 4.
So Sam on 4.
I think Sam's down to 2 at this point.
Oh, okay.
Because he took.
Now
the
I
one on turn.
don't know if Damon has delirium.
So much equipment
Ooh.
and stuff lying around.
Okay.
There was just an
That
enchantment
is
creature put in the
smoky
bin.
lounge.
Can't smoke in.
So it's entirely possible that he does,
It's not
and
also, but he's got
that centipede is
It's really tough because
lethal as well,
but it's sorcery speed, and that's really bad against all the equipment.
that's true.
which
That's
is
true.
absolutely
This may
right.
come down to a game 3. And yeah, Damon looking strong.
So what? I can turn the
So he has to play all of
4/4
his spells. He
into
has
an
to remove
0/2,
something and present 2 blockers because of
and
the
then
True.
he's got no luxury.
play
Oh, he does have the tap down left
a large
because his,
creature, or I could
rune's in play.
play an apparition,
So he can make use of that.
scry 2, make it big. Oh no! I can do it all. I can do it all. So yeah, we turn that into an 0/2,
Oh, yep, that was gonna untap.
Oh no, sorry, it's not the tap.
and then we make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 flyer.
So yeah, very hard to do anything other than just maximize blockers.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
this
okay.
one's a
I'm on
guy, of
2
course.
though. So if Damon knows how to move his equipment
I don't think he's
sensibly,
up. I think he's.
I
the
am dead here.
man.
It's not. Oh yeah, I mean being on 2.
And there's equipment lying around.
yeah. So he just needs to
Give
put the
Menace
machete
one,
on
yeah, Menace one.
the O2, and I'm dead here.
And what? 2+2+1 in Menace.
Yeah.
Doesn't give
Menace.
Menace, Adrian.
Yep. We get that one so wrong.
And this might be Damon taking the trophy. I mean,
Well.
Wow.
Wow. Sending it to.
Don't get ahead of
sending it
yourself.
to-
Yeah,
Wait, no,
Richard
sorry.
Richard was really not
did.
in on your side here.
He did.
David-
Plays the
David's
island.
been in
Draws
command
and
for a lot
plays
of
the
this.
island. So here comes the machete. This just goes on anything. I'm surprised we're even going through this. Maybe Sam's hoping that he'll misplay a little bit.
well,
You can't.
we need the judge ruling.
Oh,
on
judge,
Menace
judge.
plus, loses all abilities.
And the
Is that
hand-
lethal?
Is the hand gonna shoot up from Sam? Hey, judge.
And he's even got delirium.
Oh, he's delirious. Yep. Yep.
All right.
We're done. Okay, so we're
Game
gonna game 3. We got a game 3.
Crucially,
With Sam on the play,
confirming
bad for Damon.
our suspicions that the machete grants menace.
Punch this back and forth.
So we're really convinced of
I
that
think
now.
You could put that one down to a really big flood out from Sam, just no action when he needed it.
Yes.
Um,
he finally got the card draw from.
Okay. Okay. Good to know.
Moving things. was
We
Jeff
love that.
Waters.
And we just get the
There
we
were
just
a
get the
lot
final
of-
4 notes of some beautiful Hans Zimmer.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
time to
Well,
do
it's
that
good
much.
for it's
Yeah.
good for our content aware. Content ID claims not on our video.
100%. Yeah, and he rode them to victory. He had
Yeah,
equipment
true. I
to
wonder
make
if we're gonna have to
Sam
mute
play
any of that.
difficult. So
And this is
Who
one of the-
knows?
We might have to actually. We've
We
had
might have to.
we've had some videos get
Spells, you
flagged
can
for silly things
break
like that
rooms,
before.
But all he really wanted was just a 1/4.
yeah,
For most
So yeah,
of the
what are
game.
your thoughts on
100% one of
why
those,
that game went why it did?
Which would have been a 4-4 at the end of the game.
I don't know. I feel like you
Would've done
just
a lot of work.
you had to spend your
See how
mana
Sam
really
goes in game
awkwardly
three?
every
See
turn.
if Damon can pull it out.
Like you would
Yeah.
That's
never,
exciting.
like if you
Sam
were
has yet
to
see,
talk, like if you probably
Bottleneck or any of
go
the
back through that game and count up who
That's
spent
true.
how
He
much
doesn't
mana,
know, really
Yeah.
what he's facing.
I think
He thinks he's
Damon
facing the Dorky
just sort of spend his mana every turn. And sure, some of it's on an equipment that costs 4 to equip, and that's like, well, what's the point of that? But
anyone's game.
yeah, I think it just like you
Anyone's
played
game.
one
This is the
spell a turn
decider.
almost every turn,
Someone
and
will
then
win.
And Sam's on the play.
Damon
Sam's
just sort
on
of
the
like
play.
was doing more stuff.
You know, we've
Yep.
got
Yeah, I drew a lot of lands and a lot of
Arguably
expensive
strong stuff
cards.
from Sam.
You know,
Arguably
and
strong
like I
stuff
said, I
from
just couldn't get
Damon.
the velocity going. Couldn't be drawing cards and
Could be
playing cheap
anyone.
things and drawing cards and
Damon's
playing cheap things.
less explosive.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
You know,
But yeah, the fact that Damon's deck was so lean meant he was able to just get lots of threats out, go wide, move those equipment around to make my
Who would
removal
you put your
awkward.
money on right now?
I think Sam's the man.
Yeah.
I think Sam's the man. I want to believe, but Damon just has this like unconventional beatdown.
Damon is a great player. I mean, he's showed confidence in situations where I would just give up and be like, you know what, I can't win this match. Let's play a new one.
And that's
So,
saying a bit.
yeah, I
That's saying a
want
fair
to
bit
believe
because
that
Richard, as a
Sam,
player as well, is very
I
resourceful.
think it's
Yes.
really dependent on his ability to like get on the board and stabilize early.
Yes, I think he wants a creature-heavy draw. He wants to rip the removal spells later in the game.
Yep.
He doesn't want to get stranded too much. Well, he probably boarded out his counter magic being on the draw. He might have boarded it back.
Did
in,
you?
but he kind of doesn't want to get stranded on all the active spells.
That's true, yeah. I think he wants to get on the board for Damon's
remember.
early threats. Once again, Sam might just be a victim to his opponent playing the
I
same
remember I
thing
had a
on turn
second
two.
quench in the
Yeah.
sideboard that I brought in every
The
matchup.
equipment making his removal look so bad.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the tricky part, especially when Sam's got a deck full of, you know, bounce spells, you know.
So it's
enchantments
this game 3 that we're going to see the bad cards that Damon brought in.
Sorcery speed
So
stuff.
we'll talk about that when we
like,
get to it.
Just 4 down. Get sorcery speed.
I can't. This was where I was just kicking myself that I
Cool, so
didn't take that Pyroclasm. It just would have been
the animator
absolutely
is
incredible
coming
against
Animation
Damon.
spell coming out. Altenac is out of its sleeve.
So I wasn't there in game 2.
There's none there in game 2.
Neither was
Okay, so it looks like Damon cut the Altenac. That was one of the things that he cut.
Is attack in the box coming in?
Bringing in attack in the box.
Yeah,
I mean,
I still couldn't.
Very
I still can't believe it.
it's a dodgy card.
I've not
but
yet played
at
this
least you
card.
can send it into a 1/4 once.
That's true, yeah. Like,
I
it takes
have
care of the
in
one-
defensive decks where
Maybe
4
that's
toughness
enough.
is really nice. You know, if you're playing against an aggro deck with a lot of 3/2s,
Altenac's
the
staying
2/4
out of the
body is
game.
really nice. I've played it in red white aggro, where you get it to 6
I don't want
power,
to play a long
Ooh.
game.
and then
What else we
point,
got
turn
coming
inside
in?
out at it, gets it
Attack
to
in the box
9
goes back
power,
out,
and
is that
then
2/4?
2/4
jump scare
Indestructible.
makes it 11 power flying,
Oh, the 5-drop tapper.
and you can just like fireball people out of the game like that.
Again.
Okay, okay.
And so Damon's got a bunch of
Because I
equipment,
plan on manifesting
Um,
it. I will
Oh,
manifest
yeah.
it.
I'm manifesting.
but it looks like he
I'm
realized he's not going to
manifesting
win a
it
long
into my hand
game.
onto the battlefield.
So the big Altenac
So,
thing is just not going
we've
to
got
work
an
against my
exciting
deck.
decider
So he's
here.
just bringing the curve down.
I'm-
He wants to just go
His
faster.
Damon's shaking.
Smart.
He's so close.
He's so close. So is Sam. This is
And we have
very impressive stuff from both of them.
a game 3 for
We
all
will
the
have a winner
marbles.
today.
Yeah, this is it. This is the final of the
We're
final.
about to
Final
find
of
out
the
who it is.
final.
So Damon with a
Oh,
Pretty-
that is awkward. He's got an island and a fixing land, but it doesn't let him cast all of his spells.
Ugh. Tough hand.
yeah.
So Valgavot's Lair, he only gets 1 color out of.
Whereas
It's probably gonna be
Sam
white.
has
Oh, looks like both of us
2
kept.
lands and some expensive. No, 3 lands. Okay, so Sam I think is pretty happy.
Yeah, Sam seems to be in a solid spot. Oh, and if he did put it on white, he's kicking himself now.
Did he put it on
Oh, I
white
think
or
he put
green?
it on green.
And here it
I put it on
Here it
green.
comes.
Just
The
ripped the
same
third color
tuber.
like a boss.
3 games, never didn't have it. Sam's like, why does this always happen to me?
I mean,
But that makes
every
sense from
kick
Damon
feels like
because
9 damage.
Yeah.
if he puts it on green, he can play the dog on 2 to try to dig
So
for the
writing
white
something
source to
down.
be able to play the
These
game.
guys
Yeah,
are really
yeah.
like- I had a weird beef with them in Brothers War because they
So
were
this looks like pass with a
one of them,
counter spell.
They were pretty good, but there were also a ton of 1/1 tokens, and so sometimes they were just complete garbage. And it happened all the time.
Send it in.
Natural
Sam's gonna take
band
3
on turn
instead of
3.
Zane,
It's pretty good.
and It's
Would
a
be
tale
good
as old as
turn.
time.
Oh, this would be a good turn for Zymoan, but...
Oh, Zamone?
No,
And I believe the
thank
words
you.
out of my
That
mouth
was
right
going
now were
straight into the
absolutely
bin.
not.
Sam gets
Absolutely
really good
not.
value out of the counter spell. And it's back to Sam to drop a land and do some more damage. Ooh, very suspenseful drawing of the card.
That was a big upside on that cancel, because if it didn't have the alternate mode, I think there's no way Sam is holding it up against the 3/1.
So 3 in.
You agree with Richard's assessment there?
So now that's a really interesting play, is
Good.
Good turn 4 from Sam.
turning that thing into a toy. And this is going to have pretty big implications through the rest of the
He
game.
did.
Because I think my thinking at this point
there's
is
a world where a greedier
I need to
Sam
limit
sandbags
damage. I
it
need to just
for the
slow him down,
trigger.
because once I get to a late
Single blue and
game,
a white
I'm
from
favored.
Damon. I think the
So I
Tatum-
counted his 3-drop.
mean,
I just need to make sure that
Sam
2-drop
hasn't
doesn't
seen
deal me like
the
9
other
damage.
But
Oh, it's the acrobat.
he has to have noticed last game that Damon was just sitting
And
there
the
with cards
Glimmerlight.
in hand. So
Okay. Double 2-drop,
Looking
but
for Jim. Jim's there. He is.
it's not
I
Jim.
still think it's Jim, not Jim. That's
Untap
Mark.
Sam. Really interested to see what the rest of Sam's hand looks like. If he's got action, it's looking pretty good for Sam.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that
the
apparition
position
kind
lock.
of holds things off a
Anytime you untap
bit.
with a creature,
Next turn, Damon can
your options are
put
so much better.
the glimmer light on the acrobat,
doesn't
attack
have
with the
anything to
acrobat, the
get
attack
He
acrobat,
really does not.
and get the flying
Sam's
counter
thinking
on
about
it.
just getting in.
Yep.
The 1 damage here. He touches his lands.
Damon's drawn out of his mana situation
He
pretty
releases
nicely.
From slumber and
Drawn 2 planes in his
the,
first couple of draw
the
steps.
Land cycler in hand, as well as the machete. Strong hand from Damon. Can't
is.
cast any of it though.
So I've got.
Oh, he does have
Oh,
one.
is that 2 lands and I'm not able to scream?
Last turn. That one got 2/2 drops. So
So you can play the machete, and the machete's strong.
So
the machete's
I'm probably
a
thinking,
really
do
good
I
way
want to turn the
start
acrobat
trading up your creatures
into a
and
toy?
Make it through
Because-
the fight playing all 2 drops.
So something else is becoming a toy.
This is both of my unable to screams,
For the collection.
Gets in for 2.
which means if he plays the angel, I could
Yeah.
potentially be in some
Turn,
danger.
I think I saw a glimmer burst.
Very nice, very nice.
Not the yeah, true. I was gonna say not that
They
you
are.
know that, but you do know he
Glimmer
has that
versus-
card.
Yeah.
Don't know he's got it in hand though.
Like
Yeah.
gas up. Put down
Because so at that point, I'm thinking, I don't know if
The rudest part of it is Damon might
If
be
he's
like, oh, I can
got
actually
it at the
play
moment, but
light.
that's a way that I lose in the
No.
late game.
But no.
But there's a chance that he just puts
I
the
think
glimmer
Sam
light
would go for that now.
on the flyer. He attacks
became- but
for
even then,
3. I take 3.
Sam could
Then
just go
next
for
turn I
the-
play Shark. He attacks for
bounce off the
3
attack,
again.
what is-
And then am I going to have to just turn it into a toy anyway later? So maybe I'm just
Gonna try and make him
dealing with
turn
the flying threat
on
now,
again.
so I don't have to
do.
take a bunch of
No, you're
damage and
right.
then deal with it
You
later.
can't
I think that was my thought process. I
Oh,
don't
of
like
course
it
can't.
because it leaves me vulnerable to some bigger threats later. But that was my thinking.
3 mana. Okay, the escort's in.
Oh,
Sam's,
okay. I don't care about that
He's
too
handing it
much. I
over to
don't
Sam.
think.
He's saying, please counter this.
Would you like to counter this? I'd love you to waste a counter spell on this. And puts the light on it. Shine a light on
Okay,
me.
so I feel pretty good here because now I'm going to slam the shark, and the only removal spell.
Unable to scream.
No, Damon's shown me the only
He's shown
removal
you
spell.
trapped in the scream and the one that gets cheaper for
I'm not spoiling
tapped
the
creatures.
players.
Yes, yeah. So they're the only ones that he's shown me that can deal with it.
Did he attack?
My feeling was if he had
If not,
trapped in the screen, he probably would have played it by now, maybe. So
Maybe
look,
he did,
it's not a
missed
super
it.
solid,
But
guaranteed to survive situation, but
the shark's locking it up. That being said, he has the land to kill it.
finds the 5th land.
And I think he's gonna get rid of it, but yeah, he's got attacks with the indestructible guy now.
yeah, and I mean, he's in a spot where Sam's kind of out of gas, and he's
Spends
gonna
all his
start
mana to
trading
kill
up
my big guy.
possible attacks.
I feel annoyed by that. Like, it was the one card I needed him to not have.
Token, which I guess he might as well.
Yeah, and he ripped hot the land for it as well.
Yeah,
Hilariously
yeah.
enough.
And that seems to have happened quite a lot
Oh, sorry.
today is I play the big 6 thing and cross my fingers, hope they don't have the one removal spell, and they've had it every time.
I mean, he just
Yeah. Yeah. Sam not looking happy.
Look, tank.
yeah, I'll block it. Okay, take 3.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's funny. So the dog became a 2-power indestructible, and it's I'm like, okay, I guess I block.
And that's a
And Demon says, yep, okay. So I take 3 from the other thing. All right, attack for 1.
I feel like what you would
okay,
love
people
right
are
now
afraid
is a
of
glimmer burst.
So empty-handed, and we're on below
Glimmer
the
Burst
board.
would be great.
We're on the board.
Boiler Bilges would be great.
Boiler Biggles would be good, yep.
You hate trading with
The
these
Drowned Diner Meat Locker would be great.
Yeah.
I've got
But
lots
also,
of good draws here.
Here possibly comes just like
That's
the
true.
big
That's a really good point.
I think Damon just slams the big flyer here.
Well, I think he's still on. Yeah, he's still just on 5 lands.
Damon's still on 5, so he can't drop the
Bossy
Angel
has
yet.
machete.
And, you know, like
And I
with
mean,
this
the machete is
board,
arduous to move around, but there's
he
so
can probably
little
keep
else
poking in some small attacks, but, you know, the creatures I just played do help.
We're counting.
That's very true.
Love to
Very true.
All about canning. So it looks like he's not.
Ooh,
He's probably
okay.
not sending in the escort.
No, I think the
Great
escort gets
attack.
traded with pretty easily.
Oh, but if he has the quench here, this is good.
I think Sam's empty-handed.
Yeah, I'm empty-handed
Oh, right,
here.
yes, yeah.
Everyone's getting corrected today.
Yeah.
There's prey. Damon manifesting some dread here. Unknown card into bin. Unknown card into play.
I mean, this is kind of the state we were talking about, where both life totals are high. There's a million creatures in play. All Sam needs to do is draw some rooms that do things that get his engine going.
Spot on.
I think for Sam, like, if he lifts the Overlord,
That is just game over.
it's game over. We're done now.
But if I just draw land next
Plays
turn,
the goat.
the goat was what he
Lift the
boarded
Overlord,
in.
Sam.
2 copies, I
Let's see it.
believe, actually.
Flip it.
Ooh, okay.
Well, it's
It's a
It's
1/4.
Just a 1/4.
It's not the worst card he could have drawn. Land would have been devastating.
it's contributing to it.
It's true.
I'm getting restless after like 4 hours in the chair.
Oh, he did get into one.
This time? Okay.
Yeah, see, I could do this all day.
Yeah, so I think he's pretty favorable on blocks. I mean, he's got so much garbage lying around, and 1/4 is so hard to kill.
It's true. So the goat
Yeah, the question
can
is what that
discard to
manifest
become
rate is.
a
Does he get in with it? Does he
4/4.
make Sam sweat? Does he really make him wonder if it's worth double blocking or if he just lets it through? Could be a lot of damage.
Yeah, Damon has quite a lot he can spend mana on, but he can also just slam the 6-drop.
Oh, look at the stress.
Did he find his 6th land?
He did.
So yeah, the question
I
is
think
if Damon attacks
That's his
with
route to really closing out the game before Sam.
Mr. Indestructible and then makes the goat
As
indestructible.
nice as all this machete re-equipping.
So then there's a 3/5 and a goat coming in.
to get through.
It's true. So Damon.
And if I
definitely
block the
looking favored
goat,
at the moment.
I risk Damon discarding a card
Yeah, Sam just hasn't been
and
able
making
to
a
get, like,
4/4.
up and over the creature hump.
Yeah, I mean, if he rips the meat locker here,
Oh,
great.
whoa!
Ooh.
I actually like this, 'cause
Ooh.
if he's giving indestructible
Getting in.
creature, like that's a big pain.
That's true. That's a really good.
So
point.
do you know, like, what's the idea behind boarding in the goats? Is it just that it's like
Sam's at such a high life total?
a cheap creature that upgrades? Is that it?
That's
Yeah, I think Damon's probably thinking that. Like,
yes,
you know,
effectively.
worst case,
Um,
I'm trading off my.
the other part of it is when you upgrade it, you get +1/+1
indestructible
counters.
die.
So if he can upgrade it and then I have to,
Yeah.
well, then I can't really
He's
deal
also
with
kind
it
of
with
like
unable to
green
screen.
deck.
Oh, so smart! Wow, I
Right?
would never
go.
think.
I would never have thought of that. Like
Is the
who
goat? I don't.
who
believe
in
the
this
goat's
matchup
ability is
thinks,
instant speed.
the sideboard tech
It is.
is the
He'd
goat?
have to discard his land.
Yeah, I know.
true.
And he was
It pumps the
absolutely
current up
spot
to
on.
1/4, so
It's
it
so
still
good in
trades
this
a lot of
position.
things on double blocks, but I guess he figures that
You know, he trimmed a bunch of his top end to lower the curve, which makes sense. I think a lot of players would have seen to do that. But the goat in particular,
And then he just plays the
just because it plays so well against all of my unable to screams.
Especially, I mean, Sam.
It's a really good point.
Just taking one from the goat.
I imagine he also boarded out his reanimation spell.
2-1.
Oh, right.
This
Was
guy.
that
I mean,
emerge from the
when you're thinking
cocoon?
about tricks,
Yeah.
There's so many tricks that damage.
So yeah, he had Emerge plus
Another Seize from Slumber.
Alternac as like a plan of his deck.
That's
And I think he just
blocking
realized
Sam,
that's
so
not how he wins
Sam's
this one.
taking 5.
Yeah, no, good point.
3-3. We're going to damage. Take 5.
We're
I
blocking.
think Damon's happy to make any progress without spending mana on this turn.
Yeah, agreed. And then in comes the big flyer.
The biggie.
It's big, Sam. It's
Oh,
big and
boy.
it's in the air. What now?
Sam
Not
needs
happy
to-
about that because my main way to deal with
Down
that
9,
has been
he's looking
played.
at,
Oh, is... oh, okay, no, that's
7
not
here
it.
next turn.
So yeah, now I'm hoping to find Meat Locker. Meat Locker can lock down the big flyer for a little
Oh,
while.
that's pretty sick.
That's the
Yeah.
bounce room or the surveil room? I don't know which one, but the left half had a 1.
So now here's an interesting little sequencing thing. Do I want to scry first or surveil first or manifest first?
Crucially, I think he can open both sides to make his guy a 4/4.
You would also draw him an extra card. So
I would
Duskmourn
want
would
to
be an
surveil
extra
second.
and I think that's.
I would
And I-
want to control my draw for next turn rather than the thing I manifest.
He's
And I think you're
probably
correct.
thinking about-
Yeah. One of the things I'm hoping to be able to manifest here, though, is the Overlord.
Yeah, so you manifest dreads.
Oh, yeah.
Surveil 2.
But if I can...
Oh, if you
If
can maximize your chances of manifesting it. Oh,
But I could also just try to set up my chances of drawing it next turn.
yeah. I think it's equivalent,
Here we
right?
go. We're gonna land,
Or at least better.
and what looks like a quench.
Okay. And then
And then we're
we unlock the other side.
surveilling away.
You can't even get cheeky and swing in with the 2 eerie triggers because it's just got a good block on it anyway.
And, oh, is that
so
Meat
there's
Locker?
the Meat
That looks like it,
Locker.
doesn't it?
Take a land.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping to draw here.
The Meat Locker's sick, but he's still kind of just treading water. He locks down the 4/5 flyer and then he still has to draw something.
I mean, it's his best chance. Like,
So I
there's-
think-
there's no world where he like bottoms both of them. I think he's gonna play the meat locker.
Yeah,
So what I'm thinking about
Holy
here...
dooly.
I think I'm thinking about
You know
keeping
what
the
David wants to
land.
add?
Because
think
if I
we can
keep
do
the land,
So both players, no cards.
then
in
I
hand.
can draw
We
plus
don't know the
Meat
face
Locker.
down. So despite how many
Oh.
cards he still can't
So I'm
actually
thinking, do I
block or-
guarantee that I've got that land there so that I can do that? Or do I take a massive gamble, bottom the land, because I only want one more land. I want exactly one more for the
If he
rest of the
plays Meat
game.
Locker,
So do I bottom the
he's only
land,
getting in for 2
then
turns,
next turn play
but
Diner,
buys him a hell of a
draw
lot of
3,
cards to find him.
discard one of the cards, and then
Fortunately,
keep
both his unable to screams.
land plus something relevant, play the land, unlock the Meat Locker, lock down the big flyer,
yeah,
keep
I
a relevant card in hand, go from there.
Like, he
'Cause if
couldn't
I
really
miss on the
not
land, I
play
think I
him, but
die.
Now
We're going to take the gamble.
I'm with you. I wouldn't take that chance. Like,
5 or a 5/5.
if you draw another land, just discard it.
He's testing it.
Wow, how short?
Good little smirk. You gotta let him know.
This is something
Don't
that
let him
Damon and I
know.
do to each other all the time. We're just like,
Does he-
how
does
much
he
of a
have
coward
the
are you
trick
that you
where
won't block when
oh.
I'm empty-handed?
I give it +3/+0 and manifest dread.
But he's got no cards in hand.
So yeah, what a
got one.
huge moment just there where I
Oh, he doesn't.
Empty-handed.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He surveilled.
and I think if I wasn't so invested in this game, I wouldn't have actually thought about
Sif
that.
coming off the top,
Yeah.
which is an eerie trigger.
If he keeps a land, he can actually unlock the other side on the same turn as well.
There they go. Richard spotted it.
Which would be good because otherwise he would just die to the flyer with that.
Correct.
blocking.
Yep.
Oh,
Um,
and actually with the machete, yeah, you can't even chop block it.
That's true, and also die to it.
Yeah.
Now this board
Otherwise,
still
he's
looks
still
just
going
terrifying. Like I had to use my 2 premium removal spells,
And
and
Oh,
Damon can now just put,
nothing, yeah.
and now Damon can just put his equipment on them, and it's like, I didn't even remove anything, you know?
Really interested to see what Damon drew.
Yeah, I know how you
The
feel.
fact that he didn't look at it all.
So even if he doesn't draw a spell for the rest of the game, he can keep
That
just
tells me
moving
that
these
much.
equipment around. He can level up the
Strong
goat.
defense.
But he has declared that he's activating Glimmerlight, and it's going on the goat.
He's
The
ready to
light
do
on the
that.
goat.
And in he goes. He's saying, "I
Any
will
goats?
discard a card. What are you
Any
gonna do about
goats?
it?"
Okay, so the machete,
So
the ghost, and the
tricky
goat
game
come
for
in.
Sam here.
Yeah, Sam's really not getting much traction. on
3/3 blocks
here.
4/3.
He's
That makes total
just draining his
sense.
creatures down for these equipped creatures.
Watch us forget it has menace.
That's a double block.
Well, it's going to be a 5/5.
Now, this was a
So
mistake.
he has not put adequate blocks on the machete creature because that does have menace. And it's
Very clear.
Ah, yes.
So I think I played
I
pretty
think
well for the most part
resolve
today, but
with
this is where I
Sam
made
putting his
my
head in his
my big
hands and-
a crucial error.
Yeah,
because if he discards to the
How is this being
goat,
so cruel?
on Struggle Street here,
Oh,
do I chump?
yeah, because I should have put
Pen is,
the
He has gone
apparition
pen. He's looking
on the
he's
goat,
looking his life
because then
total.
if
I'm
he
on it.
discards
Heads in the
to the
hand. I
goat,
called
he
that.
can't kill
Has not remembered
apparition
Minasco,
plus
though.
Soul
I
Rager.
think Damon's.
Right.
But if he unlocks here, he can kill both of my other things.
So, fun fact, me and Richard are about to get really worried because we think everyone has just
like
not realized the machete grants menace, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, should we call a judge? What's going on?
Yeah. And the massive mistake that I really made here is I'm about to let my creeper die, and I needed the mana from that to do the play I wanted to do next turn, where I played both halves of it.
Oh.
Giant mistake. I should have put the apparition on there instead. And Damon actually told me afterwards that he would have killed the apparition
As we,
Oh no.
because he was more worried about the flyer.
doesn't change the outcome.
I'm not the judge.
And then
Back to 20. Love it.
Back to 20.
the
Love it.
light on his glimmer token. There's not really much else that matters. Considering
So
it's
just doing a bit of
4/5
re-equipping here, but this looks pretty dire
So
now.
Sam's really gonna hope that
Doesn't look good.
off of his sift, he's seeing something. Really
So
yes, and he has to keep a land if he wants.
now
to
I can't just play Meat Locker, because if I lock down the 4/5 flyer,
It's not like
Yeah, it just kills you by moving the equipment around.
yeah, if he
This is true.
puts the equipment on the other two things,
if there's even a land there to get.
I'm very happy to see him put it on the flyer, because that's about to
Okay,
get locked
well,
down.
You don't have to look. You can leave those lands tapped.
Love drawing the
No
card
gun
face down.
in his hand. His head.
Now I think it's at this point that I realize, oh my god, I screwed up and I lost my paper, and I can't actually
So
do
this could
the
be-
plan that I had
This could
set
be
up
it.
so
This could
carefully.
be the anointing, the crowning of a new champion, or will Sam hang on
Damon breaking his streak.
even longer?
Oh yeah, worth noting that Damon has made the finals of one of
Damon
these events
never having
twice
taken the
before.
trophy home.
Oh,
A
nice.
3-time finalist,
Three-time
Three-time
finalist,
0-time winner.
which is an incredible statement on its
We've
own.
seen the really conservative play. He's just going for the tap down.
Yeah, I realized I'd made a
don't wanna
mistake,
die
and so I had to just go for
top three
this.
doesn't have a land.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, because he lost the creeping peeper, so he can't
Yeah.
make that play anymore.
Yeah.
He needed it for mana.
Ah, of course,
My
of
mistake.
course.
Yeah,
So I'm
this is
dead to
the
quite a
play
lot
that
here.
for him. And
I think
why
that's
he's
the-
making such little inroads.
Is that another dog?
So,
I didn't see.
really want to know what Damon's drawn here.
I mean, he can just go for lethal because he puts menace on his creature, gives the glimmer light, and then
Yeah. Where?
Oh, really good point. And we have forgotten about menace.
So yeah, as it actually works.
yes, does Damon know what menace does?
Yeah, so you put.
Just putting it on the
Oh, okay, right.
1,
So now that's a
Yeah,
the
3-2.
1.
Oh boy. So that's going to force a
That's way to
chump.
play. He didn't remind Sam because he didn't want Sam to remember.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I can foresee problems now.
There's a 4-3.
Oh,
4-3.
really?
yeah.
That was an error in Sam's favor.
Chump.
No!
Oh, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Oh my god!
There is only some of
Or
the
do we
people
just
on
not know
screen
that
who
card?
don't
Can
know.
you bring up that card for us?
Maybe it doesn't grant menace.
Draw a glimmer
I'm wondering
burst.
if we're the idiots.
You might be.
It's
possible.
The conductive machete.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna matter. It's gonna be tough to.
Maybe
doesn't
we're
grant
the
menace.
idiots.
Oh, okay. It just says machete, and that looks like menace. Okay.
Nice, yeah.
Everyone who's watching this is like, these idiots don't know how these cards work. Sam and Damon do know what the cards do.
Imagine if someone had ran in and been like, "No."
So Glimmer Burst is a good draw there. I'm
Don't
very
know
happy to
what
find
we're
Glimmer
talking
Burst. Not very happy to draw 2 lands off
Kick
it.
me out of the booth.
So this is the point.
Seeing the draw through.
This is the point where we do some
Draw
Hollywood.
off of the Glimmer Light. So he
And
decided he needs the last bit of
So
mana.
now Damon's got 2 4-power creatures if he wants to
Yes.
level up the goat.
Okay,
And he
so
brew 2 lands.
So I'm going to play my land and pass the turn.
he drew 3 lands. Cause he
Did a bit of Hollywood
Oh,
there.
sorry, off the Glimmer Light, yeah. 2 lands.
He's staying afloat though.
Well, no, because
Oh no, he's. I
Damon
think.
sniffs out that the last card is a land.
You're looking like me.
I think he's a dead man.
The
This could be
stress.
it. This could be the final turn. This could be Damon, champion
Champion Damon.
of the Magic Main's final.
Back to 20.
Think we
I love it.
Good thing we interviewed him. I'm sure we'll interview him again, but phew, like, can he clock the land on top? Does he go for it? He's reading it.
And then this is me just reading, just
Pretty low
to
risk.
check I understand how the
It's
card
pretty low
works.
risk. I mean, it does disguise. Go
Okay,
for
so he
it.
attacks. I declare a
Block the
block
thing
here.
with 4 power.
And then say, would you like to discard?
Maybe discards like a fucked up rare. Just show
God,
it.
stop swearing on the stream, Richard. So now
Sam's
Damon's
got a
in
card
the...
hand.
Oh, he
he's
doesn't
playing
do it!
safe. He's just taking Sam 3 and he
Doesn't want to discard.
Sam lives a gallon.
Because he just drew a 6-power trampler.
Playing it safe because I have a big trample.
Can you imagine if that was the
What does
counter spell
Sam
that I
do
just drew?
Now? Sam's on 3. Ugh, it's not good
That's not going to
enough.
do it.
It's not good enough. He's got to go for the sift, but what do you draw? Overlord? Doesn't even do it.
No.
I think Sam is a
What
dead,
does it for 3 mana?
dead
Absolutely
man.
nothing. But let's just have a look.
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
mean,
got,
Sam is
no,
at
no
the
other plays to
Final
make here, so we
moments
got to
of his
sift.
Magic Mate's performance this final.
The face of Damon, knowing he's just about there.
I think he knows that there's nothing in his deck that does it.
But he's
got
worried
no
anyway.
sleepers. He's got no sleeps.
Well, you can play the Smoky Room.
Oh yeah, so I've got the
Yeah.
furnace that can pick off something.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Does he make Damon have it, or does he extend the hand?
But Damon's only got 4 lethal creatures, and I've got 2 mana to try to stop
Yeah.
him.
With the dolls as well.
It's poor.
I'm glad
I
it's
mean,
been a
yeah,
while since
like,
we've
come
done
on.
that With a fog in it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
you're gonna discard first. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Damon's like, hey, what was that?
So, what is Sam's plan?
I think he's going through the stages of grieving.
I think
That's
we're
correct.
Slowly.
I was a game up in what felt like a good matchup, and I think I have just lost.
Acceptance.
I will kill your goat.
Kill the goat. Still got, 10 power worth of stuff to deal with.
3 lethal creatures.
Still nervous. He's been in this
Damon's
position 3 times before.
Showing Sam how dead he is.
Ah.
He's got it.
And it's over. Wow.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm glad we got a bit of a nail
Wow.
biter at the end.
Real nail biter at the end. Unfortunately, yeah, Damon's deck, he just I think the real winner, if you think about it, Damon had the removal when it was key.
Yeah.
Whenever Damon cast a removal spell, it got rid of Sam's biggest creature.
True.
Every game.
You saw
So
True.
true.
Damon's deck.
And
lined up really
I think
well
this
at
kind
not
of-
engaging with what Sam was doing.
This kind of
Sam's removal was bad.
match.
his big
It's
cast was
easy to
bad,
look at it and
his
go,
blockers were bad once Sam
"Oh,
was
I got
out.
unlucky."
100%.
Because I drew my
yeah, like,
lands
Sam, I think, could have
awkwardly.
had draws
He
that
drew
were
the
better
removal
for him,
when he
but,
needed it, just like that sort of
with
thing.
all that
But
equipment, my O2 toy is like, oh well.
I
you just played
actually
something
think
that says target creature gets minus.
First of all, Damon
Like, I'm attacking.
took all those edges that we were talking about
So,
before. He recognized
Tough
that the
match,
goats were the goat,
interesting, you know,
and those
great for
equipment
Damon.
that he had were
Found
making
his
my
deck
life
at
hell.
the, start of
Because
the day.
my
He
two
was
best
like,
removal
I don't
spells
think
were
I'm
leaving
gonna
him with
solve
bodies on the board that he
garbage
could
deck, but
keep
look at him go.
moving things
I was a
around.
little upset that
So
he
he
won.
actually had, and the fact that he didn't really have
All the
any
times that
high
he
value
could've
threats,
won,
or not
he
many at
won with this
least.
deck.
Like he had
It's all
Simone and the
play
Angel
skill.
and the
It's
6/5.
all play skill,
But-
and if there's someone
Most of
at
what he had
this draft table who has got the skills
was
is
little
easily-
crappy 2-drops.
Fantastic
Which
player.
meant that all of the removal that I had was less effective because it's kind of just
all
picking
around,
off one among
champion
equals.
in general.
And so he was really good at just like
Here he
spamming the
comes.
board
I'll
with
give
lots
you
of
the
little
honors.
things,
Thank you.
making my removal
back, David.
awkward. He boarded in things that were awkward with my removal.
Get you mic'd up quick.
So I don't think I got unlucky. I think I got outplayed, and I think he maneuvered his deck in such a way that it was good
congratulations
against what I was
officially.
doing.
Thank you. I really had
Let's
to
have a
set
listen
up-
to him.
I really had to set up the hero story, didn't I?
Yeah.
Come from behind, underdog, terrible deck.
Get your perspective right before the critical moment. That was
Oh, right. You want my perspective? Oh, no, that was my perspective before. Yeah, you're right. You're my. Yes, I was kind of blown away because Sam's deck just seemed very strong.
yeah.
But it turned out that the reason my deck was bad was because I was playing all these terrible little creatures and I had like these little equipment to make them bigger. And then Sam just had a bunch of cheap removal, which turned out to be really bad against all my cheap creatures.
Yeah,
and my
that's
and my
it.
equipment.
That's it.
So
We were saying it was classic white weenie because nothing he did engaged well with what you were doing.
yeah,
His
yeah.
removal was bad. His big shark was bad. His small blockers were bad because of your equipment.
I mean, the Overlord would have been good if that had never showed up. So
Yeah.
I obviously dodged that one. And then,
Well, you dealt with it the first time.
oh, that's right, I did show up. I did
Yeah.
kill it. Yeah. Oh, I lost that game. So. Yes, and then my sideboard plan, I'm not sure if you caught it, but bringing in the two goats.
Hell yeah.
Genius.
Oh, I
thought
thought
they were
goats
main
didn't
deck.
work. No, I had them in the board at the set, but then I was looking through my deck trying to find out things that were good against Unable to Scream, and I was like, turn my
There you
goat
go.
into a
That's pretty heads up.
into a 3/5. I'm happy with that. So I brought in the two goats, and yeah, I mean, like it kind of showed at that point where I had the threat of activation as well. Like they're kind of hard to block effectively. Most of his stuff was like sorcery speed interaction, so I figured the goats would be okay there. Because it's really bad if you pay 3 mana and they kill it.
Yeah,
All of
because
his stuff was like sorcery or tap.
Yeah, I didn't have any dragon fires.
you were pretty heads up because there was a lot of stuff in your deck that was like good at very slowly breaking through a board stall, and it was really overcosted, but when nothing was going on.
Yeah, the conducting machete. I mean, the glimmer lights are just
Glimmerlight's great.
that was a real overperformer, and I kept bagging out my deck, but it did have a lot of. I think what really made the difference is I got quite lucky with my mana. I never really had to mulligan or like.
We were getting a little stressed in the game 3 when you played Valgabot's Lair because I was like, if that was on white,
Oh, you know what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I named green with that, and then I even managed to draw the island for Simone or something. No, I had
the
I had
island in the
in hand.
opener.
Yeah. No, but I think I have 10 white sources in my deck, so I knew that I had a lot more white sources. Because in the end, after my deck, I've got 2 Terramorphics.
And that's a hand that a lot of players would have mulliganed as well.
And then
Yeah, I mean,
randomish split, but
potentially me included.
I was at the
Yeah.
land cyclers, which was quite interesting. Like all of our games, I was like on 5-ish lands.
Yeah.
But I played like a quite patient game because like, well, I know that I don't want to cycle away my big thing, even though I'm on 4 or 5 lands, because I've got stuff to do with my mana. I knew those land cycles were going to be quite good, and at the end, like even the final turn, just like playing these land cycles meant that it was very hard for him to deal with it and catch up.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah.
And it also meant that the unable to screams that he used.
Yeah, that's true. I might have cycled them if I hadn't seen the Unable to Scream coming out early. So yeah, I mean that's definitely did not expect to win, but look, Magic's a lot of variance in Magic. And
I was gonna say,
I
are
think
you
I
a
have
bit...
to owe the deck an apology. I have to say sorry, bad band goat deck. Yeah, better than I thought you were.
Yeah, are you a bit upset that your trophy win was with White Weenie?
No, I'll
Definitely not a
take it.
Damon deck.
Yeah, no, I played against Mark. I had this like sweet deck. I was like, oh yeah, I want that deck.
Mark's deck was great.
Mark's deck was so good. But no, I think I like to think that I'll play anything.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing other decks more. I enjoy playing decks that I feel like have agency over my draws. And to a certain extent, this one had some kind of agency because I had equipment and I could kind of move around. The kind of decks I hate is when you're just like sitting with 6 untapped lands and you're like, go,
Yeah.
go. At least with this time, I could sort of move a machete across. Or
Yeah, you had lots of smoothing and mana sinks and
yeah,
flexibility.
yeah. And I had some really lucky draws too. I think that helped.
Yeah. And if people want to see you playing blue control, they got to come on Monday nights.
Yeah. Oh, I love me some blue. I really want to nail the blue black. Haven't nailed that one yet in this one.
Oh.
Every other day.
One of my favorite matches against Damon was a blue-black control mirror in March of the Machine, where those blue-black control decks were
And I have to say,
good
shout out, as
and
always, you guys do an amazing job.
long.
I love watching it back. I've got on holiday for a week. I'm going to
Yeah, right.
savor the moments, point out all the times. We missed a trigger.
we finished one game in 45 minutes.
No, I won't do that. I missed quite a few.
Jeez.
For an idea of how insane
We thought that
was.
Machete granted vigilance, and we were like
Oh,
shouting
yeah.
at you from the casting booth.
I wish. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, it would have been great if we... And then there was a whole discussion, I'm not sure if you had it, but there was a point where he made unable to scream on my creature. It had a flying counter on it, and the judge ruling was that it loses flying, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah, even though I had a flying counter on it, it didn't have flying, which was why I wasn't attacking with that thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
So I think Damon was
Thank
very
you.
thanks to all the
humble there,
sponsors
saying,
and
there's a lot of variance in Magic,
Oh.
whatever.
and no more paying for drafts for the next.
I think there's a
Wow,
lot of
yeah.
players,
Oh,
and myself
amazing.
included in the
I still
past,
kind of-
where you look at a match like that and you go, "Oh, I got unlucky."
Yeah, look,
like so
thanks
much
to-
variance in Magic,
thanks to everyone
blah
who
blah
makes this
blah.
happen. Such a wonderful.
But that was just a
thing
a
to- and if you're watching
great
at home,
case
you
of
know, how
Damon made
can I qualify?
some really
I've
really
got the
smart
secret to how to
decisions
qualify, 'cause I've qualified every time I've played.
that
The secret is just turn
that
up
won
every
him the
Monday.
game.
You don't have to do particularly well. I mean, that helps. But if
And
you just turn
that
up
really
every Monday,
motivates
you have a
me
good record and a good enough points you
to want to get better. There are always decisions you can make
my
that can
gosh.
give you just a
If we all
few
turn
more
up, we can
percentage
all
points.
qualify.
And I think Damon displayed that really nice. I think Yoan displayed that
yeah.
really nicely when in that last game where he was playing towards the fear of burning alive.
Yeah, it's true. More boxes, the better.
This is why I love playing competitively at this level. Is
No,
there's so much to
well,
learn from
thanks
guys
everyone
like
for
these.
Tuning in, and thank you to our future watchers watching the VOD.
Hey,
Hope
that's
you guys
us.
Had fun.
Hello.
We had a lot of fun, and we'll see you next year.
Next year, let's do it.
Double thumbs up from Damon. Damon's fun copyrighted music, including little sort of outro there. Thanks for watching. And wow, that was it, Sam. What a performance! How good?
Huge, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was stoked to make the finals. It's like the toughest draft pod you could put together this side of the world. And for me to get through Chris and Yoan, and I've no shame losing to Damon at the end. Yeah, I thought my deck was really nice. I think it played out even better than I thought it would. Like I said at the top, I felt like it was okay, but I didn't quite know how good it was. But playing with it, I was like, oh no, this is really good. So I've good card advantage, good removal, good ways to finish. This was a good control deck.
Hell yeah. Well, I think that'll do it. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful dive into the Magic Mates 2024 Cup. Yeah, tune in next year. We'll do it again.
That's it. I got to qualify still. I'm not qualified for 2025 yet, but I'm working on it. If you would like to be featured in our next episode. No, is that the thing I'm supposed to read? Where am I?
You could read that.
Yeah, okay. You can drop us a comment. Maybe we'll feature you. We're good at doing that. Regardless, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this kind of video as well. Do you enjoy these kind of live action draft punks videos? Because we like making them. They're a lot of fun to do. So please drop us a comment if you like that. And please keep sharing us on social media as David Cobb does each and every week. You can email us at the address that's on screen now. You can tag us on Twitter at this address here. You can find me personally. My name is Sam at calm_mirror.
And you can find me, Adrian, at Walkerade.
And Adrian, tell me, what do they call a werewolf on YouTube?
Oh, clearly a clearly a daemon.
It's a like and subscribe.